Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to HP to XP. I am Chris, the Dungeon Master for our Adventures in Umbranthal campaign. Before we jump into our story tonight, I have a couple of announcements. First, we are going to be running a one-shot adventure on March 18th from the new Candlekeep Mysteries book. So our very own mystery team of Sarah Kate, Mirage, and Matt are going to be joined by the amazing Mel from Melmo Plays and guided by Jake, who will be their DM for the evening. And they are going to explore one of the newest adventures from Wizards. So mark your calendars, March 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Twitch for a Candlekeep Mystery. Second, be sure you join our Discord community. Our cast is not in chat during the game, but we all hang out in Discord. You can also submit questions there for our Monday show, Keeps and Conversations. Use the links in our chat and our About section to join the community and join in the conversation. Finally, if you miss any of our stream live, remember that you can check out our VODs over on YouTube and catch up. We post exclusive content over there as well on world building, role play, character creation, and more. While you're there, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of new content when we drop it. But now, the adventure begins. Welcome to Umbranthal.
Journey to Umbranthal is produced for mature audiences. The topics and roleplay may be challenging, including instances of violence, power, and race. Our chat and comment sections are a place to respectfully engage with these topics and offer us your feedback.
The party entered Casina. Anara, who had entered ahead of the group, was nowhere to be found. This was quickly overshadowed by a yell as a wounded man crashed into Cloud. With the shout of "Assassin!" an individual ran off into the crowd. Cloud and Rhys rendered aid to the injured man, one Burger Schumpeter, a politician of high station. He suggested that the group call on him at the Invictus. The group immediately proceeded there and found themselves at an inn of the highest quality. Cloud immediately booked a suite for the party, who availed themselves of hot baths and sumptuous beds. Cloud and Rhys met with the burgher, who as thanks gifted them a token of platinum and an introduction to one Master Kholdrees. With the promise of work, the party headed to the Zovra to meet Kholdrees. His son had been kidnapped by a business rival, a silversmith by the name of Siamak. There was a reward of 50 gold to recover the son alive, and as much as 200 if his son was returned safely, and Siamak was dead. With the job under advisement, the party set off into the city once more. They proceeded to the Vanguard, the inn the mysterious man on the other end of the Sending Stone had told them to lodge at. Along the way, a woman caught Maple's arm. She had been a resident of Maple's hometown. Maple, overwhelmed by her uncertain memories and hearing that somewhere she had a father, broke down. Cloud chose to administer Maple one of the prayer beads she'd received from Seveth. With greater restoration, Maple's memory became clearer, and her intelligence was restored to its true level. The party, somewhat shaken by the event, continued on to the Vanguard, though, and asked for Kotsky. They were told to wait, and in time, a tiefling emissary arrived. the option to meet with the elusive Kotsky was offered. The party, unsure as to the wisdom of the act, elected to return the sending stone and leave the possibility of a meeting open-ended. Investigating the silversmith, the party used Maple's rediscovered cunning and Rhys's invisibility to reconnoiter the shop and the yard behind it. Choosing to formulate a plan, they headed back into the city, where they came upon an event proclaiming the investiture of Clara, Praetor Forbertus, as Praetor of the Commonwealth, the most senior of political leaders, and a display of the newest military technology, an event that left the assembled crowd awestruck. So, with an order from the commander, the Fire Lances, who you had just seen display their technology, come to attention and march off the square, applause roils through the crowd, along with murmurs of awe and confusion. From where you're standing, you watch as the burgher and the magnate, who you've come to understand is the mayor of the city, descend from the stage and make their way towards the Invictus, which is just at the edge of the square. And the crowds start to disperse a bit. What would you like to do?
I believe we were on our way to probably... I don't remember if we were on our way to rest for the evening or to check on one other thing, but I feel like we were heading towards one of the inns.
I think it was, the inn, the Bear Bar.
The Zovra.
Yes. It's okay, you can call it by its true name, Chris.
Hey, Bear Bar.
Okay.
Well, y'all, that was something to see. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that before. Wow. Just wow. I guess we can still head back and maybe check into this new place. Sorry, Cloud. I know you like the fancier things, and it was definitely something to see. But we can probably also talk about maybe a best course of action for whatever tomorrow may bring.
It is okay, Fenn. For as comfortable as it was for me, I could tell how uncomfortable it was for you. And I'll just keep walking towards you.
I kind of enjoyed it, but yeah, I'm not used to it. That's for sure. And
Cloud and Fenn, give me perception rolls.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I rolled bad. It's a 7.
Okay.
16 for Fenn.
Okay, so Cloud, you are still kind of pointed in the direction of the Zovra, and but Fenn, starting to catch up, you see Siamak, the half-orc, leaving the square. He's headed back in the direction of the shop from which you guys had come.
Did I notice anything in particular? Was he just there for the event, or does he seem to be in any haste?
He does not seem to be in haste. It seems like he was very likely there for the event. He doesn't seem to have anyone with him.
I just kind of take note, just watching his posture and what he seems to be taking in, just how observant, and just kind of watch for a bit.
Make an investigation check.
That's a 7.
Seems like he's just walking home from the event.
We're off to a great start.
I just kind of watch.
It's a good time to get it out of the way.
And figure, well, I'll just tell the others when we get back to the end.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So you're going to head to the Zovra then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
How
Fucking
much?
yeah, we are.
Is it like 2 beds per room? It was 2 gold. I wrote that down. I remember that.
Yeah, you didn't ask in particular. However, 2 gold a night would be a double.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. So you go ahead and make your way to the Zovra. You've been there, so you find it without any difficulty. Maple, this is a human settlement, so there are torches throughout the city that render enough light where the majority of the population is able to navigate. We're past sunset now with the event that occurred and whatnot. You are working your way through. The crowd continues to sort of thin out as you're going. They're making beelines to their homes or taverns or whatever at this point. Reaching the Zovra, you walk in, you see the same bartender from earlier in the day. Kholdrees, however, is not there. The bar is about half full at this point. There's maybe about 20 people in there. There is a gnome sitting on a stool over in one corner playing a fiddle. There are some people engaged in conversation. It's rather lively.
Maybe we can get Ahzyris to dance later. I go and get us rooms.
Okay. 3 or how many rooms are you gonna do?
Yeah, I guess. Does someone want a room by themselves? Rhys?
Why would you assume it was me? I'm perfectly fine with the roommate, I suppose.
Okay, but if you had to choose one of us, you have to choose right now. Don't think about it. Who would you choose?
Obviously you, Maple.
Oh, Bud. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm already spoken for. You know, Claude already claimed me as a roommate.
I suppose it was just fate then that I was to be alone.
Well, I think that we could probably get an extra bed in one of the rooms too.
Okay. No, Bud, no, I get it. So we can buy 3 rooms and then drag one of the beds from the single room over into our room. That
They
way
won't
you don't
hate us
have
at
to
all.
be alone.
What could possibly go wrong?
So, well, does anybody in particular feel like having their own room this evening?
Ahzyris kind of shrugs.
I
I
will
could
give
go
it
either way.
to either Ahzyris or Rhys.
Okay.
I'd be alone, but Maple would be too sad, so.
So Cloud distributes keys. Are you all immediately going right up? Is anybody going to hang out in the bar? What's the plan?
I think that Cloud is going to go right to bed. I don't have anything I need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Maple needs to have a quick chat with Cloud. Nothing big, just
Okay.
a couple comments. So she's off into bed too.
Okay.
Fenn would like to just grab a cider, not really approach anyone, but just kind of hear one drink before bed and just try to hear any rumors of the town or the festival or anything else that's going on.
Okay.
Trying not to be obtrusive.
Okay. Ahzyris, what about you and Rhys?
That is the question, isn't it? I think Ahzyris is probably just going to grab a quick bite and bring it up to his room if he is able to.
Okay.
He's ready for some quiet.
Okay. Rhys, what's your plan?
He's gonna go sit with Fenn.
Okay. All right. So, Maple, Cloud, and Ahzyris wend their way to their rooms. Maple and Cloud, we will start with whatever you have on deck.
Maple plops down, kind of just sitting, unloading all the bags onto her bed, and just looks up at Cloud. Okay, Bud, don't think this is going to be confrontational or anything, but I just have a couple things that I think we need to address, okay? The money bag and the big bag. So,
Cloud is looking very nervous.
I just... After the events of today, as you may know, I now know what's going on. So I just think that you need to know I am A-okay with continuing to carry the big sack over here, okay? You know, my muscles have never looked more defined. I am absolutely enjoying the heck out of it, bud. It's a free workout every day. I couldn't ask for more, you know?
Cloud is gonna nervously laugh and pretend like it was real. Of course, yes. I'm just wanted you, you know, keep you strong. You're literally the strongest person probably in this group, and we need you to protect us.
Well,
You're really good at it.
Thank you so much. And speaking of protection, as I am the one wielding the most, the pointiest things in the group anymore, I think it would be safest for you to continue to hold on to our money. So if that's okay with you, then that's okay with me.
Super duper. That sounds great.
Yeah, because Bud and Maple will pull out both of her pockets, and they both have holes in them. I had no clue that I must have been walking around for so long. I wore holes in my pants. I mean, anything could fall out of these bad boys, but I just don't think it's safe.
I'll maybe even I can like ask Fenn or like whatever to teach me how to do like a records thing. So you know what's going on with everything.
But I think we have a good system. You get me a gift occasionally, I get you a gift occasionally. We'll work on the honor system, okay? But in other news, I think your fur looks much better not smooshed down by the arms of a backpack. So,
oh, thanks. I really appreciate it, Maple. And Cloud will just kind of like go and like try to like not look guilty and fall asleep.
Cloud, make a performance check.
Heck. Damn it. That's a 9.
Okay, you managed to look reasonably not guilty.
That's reasonably. I have a subtle for that. All right, I go to sleep.
They're Maple's grinning from ear to ear, feeling like she has successfully unloaded all of her baggage except for the one that is Cloud's. So she's good.
Okay, outstanding. Rhys and Fenn, you very easily find a table in the tavern area. You each have grabbed a drink. How about each of you give me an investigation roll?
All right. 10 for Rhys.
Okay.
15 for Fenn.
All right. So as you two are looking around the room, you can see that everyone here is dressed reasonably nicely. Again, not as high end as the Invictus was, but this is definitely a place where people who are traveling that have a little bit more coin are going to choose to stay. As you are sort of looking and listening, there's a lot of conversation about the event itself. People are talking about the Fire Lance display in particular. This is something that nobody that you hear talks about ever having seen before. This is the talk of the town. Fenn, as all of this is going on and you're sort of paying attention, there's a woman at the bar who you would consider to be a high elf based upon her physical appearance, as well as her dress. She catches your eye and gives a very soft wave and a smile.
Ben's like looks behind him and see like
she just sort of she titters a little bit and just goes back to her drink.
Fenn like looks behind and just to make sure there's no one behind him, and like looks down at himself. It's just kind of like, well, maybe that bath did something special. I don't know. Maybe I need to listen to Cloud more often. I don't know. He's kind of feeling a bit uneasy. As he arrives, I think that woman over there just smiled at me.
She wasn't smiling at me.
Well, I'm not used to folks smiling at me that way either. I'm not sure what I feel, and he's kind of like tingly a little bit. Should I talk to her, or should we really be focused on other things?
No, absolutely not. You should not make any friends.
Well, I'm kind of almost used to that, frankly. But it's been tiring. I don't know. I feel like I've been running all over Hell's Half Acre the past few days, and but it does.
She watches you having this conversation for a moment, and then she gets up and walks over to the table and looks at you, Rhys, and smiles and nods, and then looks at you, Fenn, and extends a hand to shake.
Fenn accepts the hand gingerly, not sure how firmly he should. Then
her grip is it is not weak by any stretch of the imagination, but it is delicate. It is intentionally not harsh. It is a softer grip. Tyrell, may I buy you a drink?
Well, he looks at his drinks. Well, maybe one more. Please, thank you. If you'd like to take a seat.
Thank you. Rhys, she turns to you and introduces herself as well.
Rhys just stares at her.
Okay. You... What has brought you to town?
Oh, I guess a little of this and that. I've got some friends here, and we occasionally like to do some freelance work when we can. And,
adventurers.
Well, I guess so. I guess that's what we'd be called. How about yourself?
That seems dangerous. Is that dangerous work?
It can be at times. Prefer not to have the danger, but there's a lot of things that are dangerous in this world. And he looks at her, and then his head goes down, and he blushes.
Oh, he is getting pegged tonight.
Fenn.
I failed my wisdom save. I need a second. All right. Mirage broke me. Okay, I'll be back. All right. So
am I wrong?
I mean, we'll see how it goes for him. But so she looks at you. I'm here on a little bit of business and a little bit of pleasure myself. I came from Antar in the Politia. Do you know it?
I have heard of Antar, and what do I know? I mean, I know it's a
it is one of
city.
It's one of the capital cities, sort of towards the middle of the Politia, west of as far as you guys had gotten as a group, further west. Rhys, you would have heard of it as well. It is to the south and west of where Isterlin is, by a few days out of the mountains. So it's definitely getting closer towards the west coast than any of you have been.
Well, I of course have heard of Antar. I've never been there, being from, originally from the Harbor Rock myself.
It's lovely. You should come sometime.
Well,
yes, we're well known and well liked in the Politia, actually.
Oh, did you come from that?
We spent some time there. Since the unpleasantness all those years ago, I've sort of made my living just kind of helping guide folks in between like this area and parts of the Politia.
That sounds like very interesting work. Are you here on work? Are you looking to pick up work?
Well, we're always interested in work and learning about opportunities. We're also that display this evening was something none of us ever seen before. How about yourself?
Very, very impressive. I've never seen anything like that. No.
I would say that Fenn here is probably the best tracker, the best scout, the best fighter I've ever seen.
Are you good at finding things?
He's good at everything.
Well, I don't know about that, but I just say, at times, I've been able to make my way around and get through.
Well,
he's also good at being modest.
At times I can penetrate defenses.
Her eyebrow lifts. I have to admit, I've been looking for someone to help me find something. Would you be up for the task?
excuse me. And then Rhys gets up and pats Fenn on the shoulder and goes to, I guess, Cloud and Maple's room because he's not going to go back to Fenn's room.
I'm sure we'd be interested, but of course I would have to discuss it with my companions. I don't speak for the group. What kind of thing are you looking for?
Well, I had a kiss around here someplace, and I was hoping if you could lend me one, then we could go back up to my room and I could repay you.
What was that? I'm sorry, I'm missing.
A kiss.
And that's exactly what Fenn does.
She stands up and reaches out to take your hand, sort of gesturing for you to join her.
Very, very unsteadily, Fenn rises, uncertain of himself, as he feels as much like prey as he ever has.
All right, she leads you towards the stairs and up to her room. Are you going to go with her?
Oh, it takes a deep breath and then follows.
Okay. She opens the door and shows you in. The door closes behind you. Ahzyris, are you doing anything to prep for bed before you settle in for the night?
Well, since it seems like he's got a room to himself, this is first time in a while he's been able to just be completely by himself. So he sort of just collapses onto the bed, like sitting at the edge, and just heaves a sigh, rubs his face, just sits there for a few minutes ruminating on things, falls back on the bed, and that is pretty much all he does.
Okay. Rhys, are you just gonna go to Cloud and Maple's room, or?
Yeah, he's knocked on the door.
Okay.
Because I assume that Cloud didn't.
Yeah, we let him in.
Okay. Rhys shows up and says, Fenn's either getting laid or murdered, so I figured I should just be in here.
Oh, well. I bet you, like, between the two of us, we have a pretty high perception. So if it's the latter, then we'll know.
At least all of us won't get murdered. That's right. That's good.
Well, so these are like probably full-size beds, right?
We can use a bedroll.
Okay,
Rhys is going to sleep on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are more like twins. So, okay, all of you settle in for a long evening's rest. Fenn, you are very fortunate that you only need 4 hours of meditation to get your long rest. So you all settle in for a long rest. Fenn, as you come to... Terrell is gone.
Well, maybe that's something I should get used to. People always seem to be disappearing, but I'm not really sure what to think. And he's just kind of confused, quiet, and is kind of wants to go ahead and gather himself a little bit and then make his way down to the common room.
Okay.
To just maybe get some tea or something.
Sure.
Just like think.
Sure.
Quick DM question.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask when I know that the documents that Maple has are magical. Do I know what school of magic, or can you tell me?
I can.
I would know that with detect magic.
You would.
You don't have to answer that right now.
Okay, I will get you that answer because I don't have that sheet pulled up. But yes, you would know that, and I would be able to tell you that.
Okay.
So I will get you that. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I still know more of Maple's backstory than Maple knows, but yes. Okay, so you all begin to wake from your long rest, make your way downstairs as you come...
Rhys is gonna go and sit next to Fenn and say, better check your pockets. Make sure she didn't steal anything from you besides your virginity.
Well, he's just like does exactly that.
Make an investigation check.
5 comes down the stairs like fully rested and like ready. Okay, let's do this. We got someone to save. We're totally going to nail it. We're not going to fuck it up. We're gonna do great.
That's an 18 for Fenn.
Okay, as far as you can tell, all of your possessions are still on you. It doesn't seem like anything's missing.
Well, I guess everything was on the up and up, as they say.
As you are coming down, Fenn, you might have been a little bit distracted initially, but Cloud, you definitely would have noticed that Kholdrees is in the tavern this morning, sitting over by the window in the same place he was yesterday when you met with him. As he hears you coming down the stairs and hyping yourself up about the successes planned, he looks over and waves you over towards his table.
Okay, if I see him, I would not say that hope we don't fuck this part up very loudly. I will go over and say hi.
He did not hear that part. You're fine.
Okay.
Have you made any progress?
We totally looked at the area, and it looks very. I think we can do it. Let me say that a little bit differently. We can totally do this. This is we can totally do it.
I appreciate your confidence. I understand that there are always risks with these sorts of things.
Yes. Well, stay here, and if we need anything else, we will let you know. Got to give professionals their space to work.
Certainly. I understand.
I'll awkwardly shuffle back to the group.
Okay.
As Maple comes downstairs, and Cloud is obviously feeling well rested. She's like giggling to herself. She's absolutely beside herself with laughter. She goes, "Hey Cloud, but as far as sleep, we were nailing it while Fenn was railing it, eh?"
Cloud is just going to look around and be like, hopefully not everybody heard that. All right, everybody, let's go.
Did Fenn hear?
Maple, did you make any attempt to be quiet?
No.
Fenn, you absolutely heard that.
Well, doesn't that just dill my pickle? It's I don't know what to say there.
I think Strout did.
Oh, well, everybody knows you have hair that's good for wooing and not shooing there, Fenn. I'm sure you did a good job, bud.
Look, Maple. So I know that, you've got a lot more intelligence now, but, there's some things are, best said between two people.
I thought it was funny, Maple.
I just, give Rhys, a cuff on the head and, head out the door to wait for everybody.
With or without claws?
No claws.
Okay, all right. Rhys, you don't take any damage.
Ahzyris makes his way down to join the group.
Okay. What the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Well,
How are the festivities looking outside? Is it festive yet?
So where you are at right now, there's a hustle and bustle of people, but there are no festive type events happening right outside.
Okay.
From the bits that you had gathered yesterday, you would know that it's likely to be back towards the center of town where most of the activity would be taking place.
We're ready to... Oh, go ahead, Fenn.
Well, should we try to make our way back over to the shop and think about a distraction, and then maybe a couple of us try to sneak in, or maybe there's a way to either distract people away and put them to sleep or something, and then try to make our way down in and out quick. I will say I think I prefer a rescue mission than an assassination, even with the money. We just got here, and I I never know who to trust on these things and whether they're on the up and up. I keep saying up and up. It's an up and up kind of day. I feel in, and then he just was like,
Well, unfortunately, the reality for
Guess
you
better
is
than
that
an up and down. But
I'm up and up for rescuing over assassinating. So that I agree.
Ahzyris just nods. And then he holds his hand up and just says, I also, as I'm sure you all remember, can put people to sleep. So if we want to try that, we could.
Yes, I
Ooh,
definitely feel like you should take Ahzyris inside with you. Whereas me, maybe not. I don't know. Hard to say.
Ben, how are you with locks?
I'm not really skilled in that.
what's your dexterity?
My dexterity is 18.
Okay, so you are able to attempt to pick a lock no matter what. You just would not be able to add your proficiency bonus.
I don't have any natural training in it, but usually my hands are pretty quick and delicate.
DM, would tools give a bonus?
Yep.
Maybe
Well,
like-
if he's proficient in them.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking that perhaps part of our plan could be for me to make you vanish, and then we distract whoever's in the shop, and then you can try the cellar door and see if it's clear in there or not, and if it's not, then come back and we'll all go down and risk it, I suppose. But I think that's the least aggressive thing we can do.
I'm willing to try that. Do we all think, Maple? You said you saw a carpet and you think that's where the
Oh, but it would absolutely be super convenient if that's where the trap door was, you know. And I'd be more than happy to distract the silversmith if you guys want to go ahead and put the little guy without any legs to sleep. I feel like he's going to be a lot better to put to sleep because he has a much lower constitution, if you know what I mean. Orcs are no small guys.
Will that be you there to catch him with your loving, welcoming arms, Maple? Or
Oh, absolutely, bud. You know, I could always ask him to give me a little bit of a tour of the festivities, if you know what I mean. We're new to town and all. Maybe I could convince him to leave the shop entirely if he's not too busy. I'm not really sure. Or maybe I could just ask for a lesson in smithing, you know? I just don't want to have to, once you guys get somebody out, be without my axe. Do we have anything else that we could act like needs silver that I could take back with me?
well, you could probably just tuck him under an arm, right? And then you have your axe in the other.
I did see him last night at the
Can we assume that we're like heading there,
Yeah,
right? As we're talking? Okay. Along the way, while people are talking, I'm going to be looking for any market or shops that are selling any kind of like herbs or like supplements.
Easy to find. There is an apothecary, and there are several, more,
GNCs.
Yeah, there's a GNC. There's a Nutrisport. Yeah, but no, there's an apothecary shop easily found.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Fenn. You can finish.
No, I saw the silversmith last night at the event. So it seems, and he was kind of on his own. So it seems he does leave at times.
Could potentially wait outside and see if he leaves. Oh, just real quick, I need to see if I can since I probably won't go in, I'm gonna see if there's anything in here that will help you all be better without me. And Cloud will slip into the apothecary real quick.
Sure. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something that will make you I don't know, pay attention more, or be stronger or better, or just in general enhance yourself, for lack of a better word.
Okay. DM question for Steph. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you literally just looking for caffeine?
Yeah, like whatever drug they or herbs they will give me, then yes, whatever that is.
All
I'll
right.
sniff my way around real quick and
All
then
right.
just get something.
Sure. So the shopkeep listens very attentively and all right, and goes in the back and comes back out. This ought to do it for you. You chew the leaves one at a time. It gives you a pretty good rush. We'll keep you up.
Cool. And how much is that?
How much do you need?
I don't know, like 1, 2?
Let's call it 5 silver for 2.
All right. I'll take them, and I'll just trust them. Put it in my pocket, head back
Okay.
out, try everybody else.
Okay. Easily done.
The banker of the party doesn't barter.
Well, what I find funny is that the Tabaxi just bought cod, so...
It's a catnip.
See, I was thinking you were going to offer something like the original Coca-Cola.
If there's catnip, I want to know. I mean, Steph wants to know.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck yes.
We can continue on.
Okay. So you're
So
heading
while-
then in the direction back towards the silversmiths, right?
Yes, and talking quietly amongst ourselves as we do.
Sure. As you're going, you get back towards the center of town, and now you can see where the square had been filled last night with the fire lances and whatnot. Now, sort of all the pomp and circumstance of it being over. Now you see structures being set up and things getting ready for a much more carnival-like atmosphere. There's people milling about. There are stands being set up. In the center of the square, these large hay bales have been drug in, and they're put into like an arena shape. And then there has been some seating drug in that's sort of tiered so people can see. And you see these 2 wooden towers being erected within the arena itself. There's also a plethora of vendors wandering about. You can see targets going up in several spots. The festivities haven't really kicked off yet, but you can tell that everybody's getting ready for sort of the events to begin.
Are there any like advertisements for what exactly is going to be happening?
There are
Like other than just
There are a bunch of folks walking around at this point working on their stands. You can certainly ask anybody. The barkers haven't really started yet because the fest hasn't gotten kicked off yet. It's still fairly early in the morning,
Okay.
but you can ask
You
anybody.
know you're early when you beat the Barkers.
Right.
Okay, buds, but just as a backup plan, if he's not gonna leave the building, or if someone goes in, such as me, and realizes he's still there, then I'll go ahead and just ask him how much he charges for a lesson. People are always looking for apprentices, so I'm
Maple,
not
are
sure.
you particularly good at convincing people? Should this be something we entrust with you?
I don't have a minus to it. It's just a flat roll. Oh, but I'm extremely average at it, but I definitely give it a lot of heart.
Okay. Well, I could give Maple advantage.
What are you
Going
trying
into
to
this.
do?
I don't know, convince this orc to like leave the area so that we can get in and do our thing.
Maybe I should do it.
I mean, do you want to do it?
Even just having him go around back, we don't necessarily need him to be halfway across town.
I can do that.
Oh, Rhys. Okay, you can be my assistant. You want to play my assistant and you're going to be the one that wants to try and silver my axe and you'll need taught how?
Well,
Absolutely. Of course. I love the power dynamic.
Butters and ears McGee at it again. Who I feel like I'll be outside. So
70s cop show.
Who should I give enhance ability to? I need to know. I want to cast it so bad.
Are you asking, like, as a meta question, who's the charisma face of the party? That's me.
Yeah.
That'd be you, bud, for
That's me.
sure.
You've definitely shown that so far in the campaign.
Yeah.
You are the
I have-
charmer.
I have a +6 to persuasion and deception.
Okay. Since we really need him out of here, he's probably the worst one. Cloud will cast Enhance Ability and just take some fur from one of those beasts that we encountered on the road and cast Enhance Ability on your, what is it, Charisma? So advantage on Charisma checks for the next hour.
Cool.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows from a meta standpoint, Maple is frantically wincing, having remembered that Rhys nicknamed her Butter.
At least she's got her retaliation. Ahzyris will clear his throat and say, so what is the order that we are doing things in? Are you going in first and then we follow once he's out?
And how long does that invisible thing last? That'd probably be good for me to know, just so I don't suddenly pop in.
Guys,
Oh, I'm sorry.
is it a minute?
I was so deep in thought about what I was doing as an apprentice that
It's good to see that you're taken to this tutelage so well. I was just wondering how long that invisible lasts, just so I know about how much time I have.
It's about an hour.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
As long as you don't break it. And you break it by being aggressive or, I guess, falling and hitting your head or things like that.
Well, I'm going to try to avoid that if possible. So
I know how much you fall over, so I believe in you.
Well, thank you there. I understand Ahzyris, so maybe it's I don't know, Ahzyris, what you're feeling about when you would want, or what you need to do your portion. I would probably hang back until we saw that we could move forward that way.
So Maple and Rhys go in. We wait to see if you leave with the smith. And remind me, are we able to see into the back area where they went last time?
You can't see into the yard because of the fence.
Right. Okay.
Even though Ahzyris is like 9 feet tall.
Ahzyris isn't 9 feet tall. The fence is in fact just taller than Ahzyris.
How convenient.
Let's get a
Okay,
box.
what if
Get
he
a
actually
box.
stood upright and got to all?
If Ahzyris were to stand very, very straight and get on his tiptoes and get his fingers up over the fence, it would have a very Kilroy was here sort of look, and he would be able to see into the back.
And everybody would be able to
suspicious.
see him. Cool.
Not suspicious at
Not,
all.
not at all.
Platform cobbler and platform shoes. No.
In that case, what if he does take you in back and we are not able to know? Should I check in with you? Should we have a time limit of when we should come in?
I think the best course of action is probably just having one of you over by the fence, just sort of hanging around, and then Maple can say something cute and obnoxious very loudly.
That would work.
I'm hoping that he has a big tool that I can compliment.
There you go. Big tool. Think about it.
It's gonna be the way this
Regret.
whole
I wish you all the
night
best
goes.
of luck. I'm going to stay out here, and if anything goes bad, I will run in and, maybe calm people down.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You have wended your way towards the silversmiths by this point in your conversation. So what are we doing?
Cloud's just gonna hang outside the entranceway, kind of like in an area that cross-sects with like roads, so that they can keep an eye on the entrance as well as the road and kind of what's going on outside the front. And
Okay,
just kind of.
So to remind you all of the lay of the land, the shop itself faces the west. There's a main street that runs, so north to south on the west side of the shop. The yard is completely fenced in all around. There is a street to the north of the shop that runs east-west. There is an alley behind it. There is then a little bit of an open field and some other buildings to the south. Within the property itself, the building sits on sort of the middle of the west side of the fence line, so sort of dead middle of the property between north and south. The barn sits in the southeast corner of the property. There is a gate that enters the yard that is on the north wall.
Fenn is gonna kind of nod towards the alley, thinking that he doesn't want to just poof out of existence in the middle of like a crowded market area.
All right. Well, since you are over there, we can go ahead and bring up the map, and you guys can arrange yourselves. I don't know where that went, but we are. So we can put you wherever you would want to be. I do not have tokens pulled in for anybody that is in the shop itself currently, but
Rhys is going to say to Fenn,
I will drop some very quick ones in there for you.
Fenn, let's do this in the alley real quick. And
Cloud will also join them in the alley really quick, just out of sight, to cast Detect Magic.
Sure.
And then they're going to go and stand where I have indicated.
Okay.
And I think that with Detect Magic up, I may be able to know if Maple moves out of that range because she has magical items on her. So I'm going to see if that works.
Sure.
So before
somehow
Rhys,
indicating they've gone in the back, maybe. Go ahead.
Before Rhys casts invisibility on Fenn, he's going to take a look around to see if he notices anyone watching them, or just in the general vicinity, so that he's not casting invisibility in front of just a random person.
Sure. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
Okie dokie. That's a... Do I get advantage on this one, or just charisma?
Just charisma.
Ah,
I
7.
didn't click the Detect Magic button yet, but I take it back because it's concentration. So
Okay.
I do nothing.
Okay, that's fine.
7 for investigation.
Okay, it doesn't seem like anybody's noticing.
Great. Okay, so Rhys rubs together an eyelash that he plucks, and then like this, and then mutters a few words, and then touches Fenn on the chest, and he vanishes.
Okay.
Just real quick, Buds. Just for Rhys and I to know, how will we know it's safe to stop our wooing of the orc man here? Fenn, can you use a little invisible hand to come and do a little tippy tap on my shoulder?
I think everyone just wants you to go all the way, Maple, so that's the impression that I got.
I would say just as long as you can. You'll hear. You're gonna if things will go all out of sorts. I think you're gonna know pretty quick. And I guess I'm invisible for an hour, so that gives us a little bit of time. So maybe up to an hour. After that, I'm either. Well, you'll know.
Fenn, can you do a pigeon coo? Try it real quick.
Fenn attempts it. It's like, caw, caw. It's just like.
All right, stop wasting time. You only have like 50 minutes now of my enhanced ability.
I guess that's the next ability I need to enhance.
All right, Rhys is going to join Maple ready to go inside.
Yes.
Before we do separate, Ahzyris is going to lean down to the others, including hopefully the invisible Fenn, and just say, just as a reminder, if I do use sleep, it does only last a minute. So it's the last resort.
What are we gonna do about the legless folk there?
Figured I would try and distract him, and if things seem to go awry, then I will cast it.
Okay.
Okay, what are we doing?
Okay.
All right.
All
here we-
buds go. Okay, are we walking inside, Rhys? We going?
Yes.
All right.
Let me get the door for you, Lady Maple.
So you two go ahead and enter the building. The legless man is sitting on the counter. The half-orc Siamak is there, as is the younger apprentice that you had seen yesterday. All three of them are there. Siamak and the legless man are having a conversation. They look up as you come in. Siamak recognizes you immediately, Maple, and looks at Rhys and sort of gives the, well, this is somebody different sort of look. Are you ready for your axe to be worked on?
Oh, you know what, Siamak? I actually had a quick question for you. And she'll walk over and, put a hand on his shoulder. I would just like to introduce you to my apprentice here. His name's Rhys. He's a very good boy. He actually had a quick question for you, though. He was hoping you could show us how to silver a weapon. And I actually decided, as much as I like my axe, I think that I would like something, just while we're in town, something to remember it by. And your wares seem absolutely too good to pass up. So if I could go ahead and just both buy a weapon off of you and have it silvered, and maybe buy a lesson off of you, so my my apprentice here can learn how, so we can do it in the future ourselves. I would really appreciate it,
Yes, I'm very, very eager to learn from you because I heard so many great things about your skill.
Make a persuasion check.
17.
He looks at you. I don't normally take random apprentices. What do you want to learn?
I'm interested in learning to silver weapons, although it wouldn't be anything as formal or extravagant as to compete with your business, of course. It's just something I'd like to learn as a party trick and have it last long enough to impress some people.
A party trick?
We don't have many exciting parties where I'm from.
He looks at the legless man and sort of gives just a look that says, okay, I'm gonna deal with this nonsense, and opens the back door and gestures for the two of you to follow him out. Are you going to follow?
Yes. Maple is, okay, I actually had another question. Is there a Mrs. Siamak by chance, or no?
I have a companion, but...
Oh, but I have lots of companions, too. I think you know that's not what I asked.
I think that's what I will answer.
That's fine, bud. Come on, Rhys, let's get it going, bud. I'm excited. Are you?
Absolutely. I could not be more excited.
So you all walk out into the yard. Maple, there are still 3 guards over by the fire pit, just sort of hanging out like you had seen yesterday. Siamak walks you over by the outdoor forge and the his anvil. Rhys, he asks if you have a weapon that you would like to have silvered. Do you have something that you want him to show you how to do this with?
Sure. And he'll hand over a javelin.
Okay. So he begins taking you through the process of melting down silver, etching along the point to be able to let it in, and begins giving you this sort of tutelage in the basics of silvering a weapon. Fenn and Ahzyris, I guess. Let's start with Fenn. Fenn, what are you doing?
Fenn is going to try to move both invisibly but also stealthily into the shop.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth roll as you go in.
Okay. That's a 20.
Okay. You enter. No one pays any attention to you.
And I'm going to, this time, instead of staring at a platinum piece in my hand, kind of look for was it a carpet, I believe, to see if there was, if the
Sure.
carpet is still there.
Yeah, so behind the counter, you can see that there is a piece of carpet. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 12.
Peeking out under sort of the corner of the carpet, you can definitely see hinges coming up from the floor.
Okay. Can I see if the hinges are well oiled or rusty or anything like that?
If you want to go up to the hinges, you can go ahead and get down close to them and make an investigation, but I'll also have you make another stealth roll because you are now right underneath where this guy is sitting on the counter.
Okay. Stealth is a 12.
Okay.
And investigation is a 17.
Hinges seem well oiled. There is no sign of rust on them. You can see that faint little sheen of oil that would make you think that they are probably well taken care of. There is a carpet over this trapdoor.
What type of carpet? Is it heavy carpet or like a killam, like a...
It's it's a relatively it's a relatively light piled carpet. It seems less meant to obscure the trapdoor and more to be a place to stand for hours at a time and just get a little cushioning.
Okay. And do I notice anything from the legless man or the apprentice as I move back there?
The apprentice is working on polishing silver over on shelves. The legless man is just sort of sitting at the counter, half looking at a book, half looking at the apprentice, making sure that he's continuing to do his job. Neither of them seem to be paying any mind or have any awareness that you're there.
Can Maple yell to activate Ahzyris real quick?
Sure.
So Maple, seeing her lovely apprentice approaching the anvil, will go, "Oh, Bud, what a big anvil you have, you know?" And she'll turn over and look at the guards. "Oh, guys, wouldn't you agree that his anvil is absolutely huge?" Loud enough that, she acts like she's yelling towards them,
Okay. Ahzyris, you absolutely hear this.
He is pinching the bridge of his nose, just like I am.
Maple, the three guards are just sort of looking at you like, who is this woman? But kind of chuckle a little bit and nod.
She's doing a very intent, trying to look as interested as possible. She's full send into this part here, so.
Okay.
Cool. Well, upon hearing that, and after getting over the secondhand embarrassment for a moment, Ahzyris is going to step inside the shop.
Okay. Go ahead. I can drag you in there.
Please
You
do.
step inside the shop. The legless man looks up at you. Can I help you?
Remind me what all is displayed in the shop. Like, what wares are there?
So it's mostly finer silver goods, pitchers, plateware, things like that. More high-end sort of serving pieces, things like that. There's some statuary, a little bit of jewelry, but it's more or less larger kind of serving pieces.
Gotcha. Ahzyris will smile and give him a small wave and say, "Hi, I was actually looking for some jewelry. Do you have anything here that might, any sort of jewelry that you guys have?"
He gestures to one of the shelves over on the south side of the shop. Boy, show him something. And the apprentice walks over there to show you a tray of jewelry.
Cool. Is it locked away? Would I be able to pick one up? I'm not trying to steal it.
Yeah, it's a open wooden shelf that the kid pulls off a shelf, and it's sort of a tray, a wooden tray with some dividers. There's a handful of pieces, a couple of rings, a couple of bracelets, a fine chain necklace. You can pick
Lovely.
anything up that you want to see.
He will take one of the fancier looking ones
Okay.
and just kind of like look it over, muttering quietly to himself like, "Oh, this is so exquisite. How lovely." And then turn to the man at the counter and just say, "Do you guys often make jewelry like this? Because this is quite lovely, and I'm honestly very interested in maybe commissioning something."
Sure. What do you want to commission?
"Oh, I'm not sure. How all of your pieces are so lovely. I really just want to know what sort of creative endeavors you guys do with these things."
We sell jewelry and silver. It's a silversmith.
Right. I guess I meant I'd rather leave it up to the artist's interpretation because these are quite lovely. Just something more unique.
What do you want?
I think a pendant would be very nice, don't you? Something like this, and he'll pull out another piece, setting the bracelet aside and kind of like motion to it. He's just bullshitting and trying to keep the man's attention.
And as
Okay.
Ahzyris is doing this, Fenn is going to.
The DM now understands what's going on. Okay.
Fenn is going to try to quietly just fold half the carpet up enough to maybe to roll, and then see if he can quietly open the trapdoor to move down.
Okay. Fenn, go ahead and give me a stealth roll to see if you can do this without drawing attention.
With advantage because I'm helping?
I don't really know that
is-
you can help with this one, but
That's fair.
It's a 23.
you are able to do this. It does not seem that he notices at all. He is definitely engaged in his conversation with Ahzyris.
And then so just kind of slide himself in, quietly lowering, and then moving down into the cellar basement area.
Okay, so as you drop down, you find yourself in a stone cobbled room that is the same size, the same outside footprint as the shop itself. There are shelves along 3 of the walls, the north wall, the west wall, and the south wall. Each of them are covered with various boxes of materials and goods. There is a table in the center of the room with maps laid out on it. The room is lit by torches that are lit. There is a hallway that goes out of the room headed to the east of the property, kind of in the direction of the barn. And you can see as you come down, you can see sort of that hallway runs a little ways down, and there's another torch at the far end of it.
Looking around that room to see if there's any sign of Astron, the boy.
There's nobody in this room. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
That's an 11.
Okay. You hear a little bit of noise further down the hall, but it almost sounds as if there's a space further to the north then, if you were to move around.
Okay.
You
With
hear a low
that,
conversation.
looking around, Finn's going to continue to try to move stealthily down the hall towards trying to keep an eye out to see and find the boy.
Okay. So as you move down the hallway, you come upon an intersection that heads to your left, so it would head back towards the north of the property.
Okay, and that's where I heard a voice come from?
Yes.
And can I see anything with the intersection on the other?
So going down the other direction, you can see that hallway straight ahead of you makes a turn to the right, but you can't see sort of beyond that curve. And then looking down the hallway to your left, you can see that this likely opens up into a larger room. Just based upon the length of the hallway, you can't see it real well, but there are torches in there. It is lit.
I'm going to move towards the left and head in that direction, but not enter the room to see what I can see.
Sure. So when you reach the corner of the room and look around, you can see sort of going clockwise around the room at the what would be the 11 o'clock position. As you are looking at it, there is a closed door. As you sweep around at about the 1 o'clock position, you see two people who look like dwarves, but they have more of a dark sort of lavender skin, sort of like Rhys's. As you continue to look around at the 3 o'clock position, you can see there is a cell with closed doors. There is a young boy in there. Continuing to sweep around, looking at the room, you can see that there is a third of these purple-skinned dwarves who is at about your 5 o'clock position.
Okay. And okay, so just to make sure I get my orientation right, the cell, is it?
Well,
do I see a lock or key?
I'll tell you what. How about we just let you see it?
Okay.
Obviously, the rest of you aren't there.
So alone. Does Fenn notice any keys or locks or anything of that nature as far as the door or being held by any of these lavender-skinned dwarven like?
Make an investigation check.
That's a 12.
Okay. It looks like the dwarf who is more at the 2 o'clock position, the one who is closer to the cell itself. It looks like he has a key ring on his belt.
Okay. Okay, so Fenn is going to continue try to move stealthily.
Okay.
And as far as the furnishings and other things in the room, is there anything that looks flammable?
I mean, everything in the room is made out of wood. So there's a wood table, there are some wood stools, there are some wood crates.
So, so Fenn is going to first try to stealthily move towards the lavender skin dwarf to see. Ooh.
Which one? All three of them are the same.
The one that you said that Fenn saw the keys on.
Okay. All right.
And see if see how the keys are attached to see if there's a way that maybe subtly he can use like sleight of hand or something to see if he can.
Okay. So there. All right. Go ahead. Give me a stealth roll, because you're getting very close to this person.
That's a 16.
Okay. He does not yet seem to have noticed you or be paying any particular attention. When you look at his belt, you can see that there's just sort of a large iron hook that is just kind of hooked into a around his belt. So
this could go really bad really quick. Seeing that, Fenn is going to see. Oh no! Fenn is going to try to take the key.
Okay. All right. Fenn is going to try and take the key. Go ahead and give me a make it a sleight of hand check.
Oh, that's a 6. No.
Okay, so as you try to move it, the dwarf sort of looks down and reaches out with a hand and gets a hold of your arm and yells in a language you don't understand. But suddenly the other two are immediately drawing weapons. Rhys, at what point does invisibility drop on him?
Good.
I think it's when I attack or cast a spell.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I'll double check
or
real
take
quick.
damage, right?
Spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
other people attacking him don't.
Okay,
dispel.
cool. Perfect. Then you are so far invisible, but you do have a hand on your wrist. And this guy is drawing a sword. So.
Fenn is going to try to rip his arm off and then move hastily away.
Okay, go ahead. Give me a strength roll. We'll just do this as a contested strength check.
That's a 13.
Okay, he got an 11, so you're able to wrench your arm away. Where are you headed?
Fenn is going to head back towards the hallway.
Okay.
And essentially what Fenn would like to do now is try to find an open space where they can't corner him or anything, but also is looking if there's any way, not maybe in that room, but in a room down the hall, try to see if he can set anything on fire.
Okay. So these three are now giving chase. Are you trying to be stealthy as you are moving, or are you just moving?
I'm continuing to try to be stealthy as I'm...
Okay. They are very much on alert and are beginning to head and fan out. They're sort of throwing themselves all around this room, kind of doing the I don't know where it went shuffle looking. So you begin to head down the hallway. You get back to that original intersection. The only things that you've seen so far back in the way that you came were the shelves covered in the silver, as well as the table, which is basically where you had dropped down from the trap door. And then you have not yet gone any further down the hallway, sort of towards the east.
Oh, it's good that Fenn had last night. All right, so Fenn is going to again maybe come back to this main room quickly and see if there's along with the map that's on the table, is there anything else that's flammable?
The shelves would be the
it's
only
good.
other thing.
And all the stuff on the shelves is silver, right?
Yes. Well, I mean,
Okay.
it's in boxes. But
Yeah, essentially, what Finn's trying to do is see if there's something that he could pick up, take, and like start a fire with to try to draw the dwarves, hopefully back to keeping an eye to see where they are. But he'd like to start a fire to try to draw them out.
okay, I mean, they are definitely now headed down the hallway. They are spreading out a little bit and continuing to check sort of along the spaces involved here, trying to figure out who this was. You see two of them sort of making their way in this direction. You can hear the sound of them. You also now hear the sound outside of a bell ringing, and all of you outside can hear this bell ringing, and at that, Maple and Rhys, these 3 guards, jump up to...
Is this bell originating on this property?
Yes. Yeah, it's a physical bell.
Okay.
So these 3 guards jump up and are immediately on alert. 2 of them are going to start heading into the building. Simac turns around to immediately grab a hold of you, Rhys. The other guard is going to come over. So at this point, let's everybody roll initiative.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. You did your best, and that's all that matters.
You did your best.
Yes.
So we are going to do this as the upstairs group and the downstairs group, and I'm gonna bounce back and forth on the maps. So let's start with Fenn. What did you get?
22.
Okay. All right. Above 20 for the upstairs crew. Okay, it's a good start. 15 to 20. Okay. 15 to 10.
Sirius has a 10.
Okay.
13 for Maple.
Okay.
Rhys 8.
Oh, I have a 5.
Okay.
Catnapping.
Okay. So at this, we will start in the basement, and then I will pop back upstairs, and we'll see how this goes. So, Fenn, you are the first to go. There are 2 guards from your position. You can see the 2 guards. One is coming in your direction. One is going to the east down the hallway. What would you like to do?
How far away is the trap door?
You are just about under it where you are now.
Would it be possible for Finn to pop open given that the gig is up, pop open the trap door and then like try to create a different voice and basically yell, they're all, oh, I gotta get out of here. But then move into a corner still invisible.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So essentially what Finn is trying to do is he's trying to make it appear that he was a solo invader who just came in and then is opening it loudly so they think he ran out.
Okay.
And then from that would then move to a different part of the room.
Okay, so just go ahead and give me a stealth check to see if you're going to be able to hide. You're easily able to make noise and throw the door open, and...
It's a natural 20 for 26.
You are absolutely able to hide. Pick a corner you want to hide in.
Okay, I'm just gonna come to this corner over here.
Okay, Ahzyris, you, this door, you hear it pop open, you hear this yelling. The legless guy on the counter is suddenly going, what on earth is going on? Looks at you, looks at the boy. He is not exactly sure what to do, but we will stick with Fenn for a minute before we move upstairs. Fenn, one of the guards that had been advancing that way, moves into the space looking for where you might be. He gives a yell. The individual who had been heading down the hallway in the opposite direction also is now pointed in that direction and comes in. Seeing the trapdoor up, they yell out in common, "He's invisible!" And that ends their turn. So we will now return to the upstairs crowd. Hold on, I just turned my scene off.
So exciting.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh no, we're not Ocean's 11. We're not. Oh my God.
No, not really at all. Okay, so at this point, as all of this is going on, so Rhys, you are over by Cymac. You're not on top of Cymac, you're over by Cymac. Maple, you are next to him. So the guards go first. Two of them again immediately begin running towards the barn, which has a door closed, so I'm going to open the door so you can move in. So the guards begin moving into the, two of the guards begin moving into the barn. Sorry. They move into the barn. One guard advances on you, Maple, and is going to attempt to restrain you. So, he is going to reach out to grab a hold of you. He is not going to be able to connect. Rhys, Cymac is going to pull a dagger out of his belt and attempt to stab you.
As one does, withdraw.
Yeah, and especially with everything that's going on now in his building, he goes to lunge in, and you are able to just sort of pivot out of the way. Maple, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I mean, I think Maple's honestly just gonna stay where she is for a minute. And she would like to prepare a reaction to go into a rage if someone tries to hit her, but like hurt her in any way, or Rhys.
Okay.
And then
He just tried to stab me.
well, like again after she says this, and she'll just give it a shot. Hey, Buds, don't you think we can work this out? I think this is just a big misunderstanding.
They're not buying it.
No, oh, okay.
Nope. That ship has sailed. Okay, so you are holding your action, or you're holding a reaction. If you are attacked again, you will rage. Okay. Ahzyris, you're up. You now have a very confused legless man and a boy who are very confused. The boy is going to attempt to put himself between you and the door to try and block the door. You obviously could very easily knock a 8-year-old over if you decided to, or pick him up and throw him at somebody for that matter. This is not a very large child. What would
I'll
you
keep
like
him
to do?
for a snack later.
Sure. Old habits die hard.
He's going to look around confusedly, look to the man on the counter, look to the boy at the door. Again, he's completely bullshitting them. But then he's going to, hearing everything that had happened, specifically the thunk of the trap door and Fenn in a not Fenn voice saying, "I gotta get out of here." He is going to stumble to the side as if something bumped into him, and he's just gonna go like, "Oh, what was that?" And just look at the man confused and just be like, "What's going on?"
Make I'm going to let you pick. You can either make a performance check or a deception check, whichever is better for you.
Mm-hmm. They're both the same.
Okay. Go for it.
18.
Okay. It seems like you may have bamboozled them. They're like, you know, he's pointing to the boy. See what you can find. The boy's kind of doing the pat the floor, see if he can find anything as he's moving around.
Cool. Seeing that it seems like they have bought it, would that have been my action?
No, I'll let you do that as a free action. Why not?
You're so sweet. Thank you.
yeah.
So he's going to look to the boy, see him kind of like moving around, and Ahzyris is going to be like, just pretending to be completely clueless, but as he turns away, he is still trying to like feel out.
Okay.
He is going to cast sleep.
Okay.
Try and do it subtly.
Okay.
Hopefully that 18 deception carries over. So
They're
he's going
distracted
to-
enough that movement is not necessarily going to be drawing a tremendous amount of attention. Go for it.
Beautiful. 28 total hit points.
Okay, the both sort of do that wave back and forth. The boy just kind of falls to the ground. The legless man tumbles off the counter to the ground.
Cool. As they are starting to waver, he just looks at them and goes, "Oh no, are you okay?" Once they fall unconscious, he is going to slip around to the trap door.
Okay,
Um,
all right, you can do that. And at this point, the trap door is up, and unless you have some sort of bonus action, I'm going to say that's probably all you're going to get
Yeah.
on this round.
I think so. Just remind me, were the dwarves, were they near this trapdoor, or were they still a little ways away? Was it just Fenn that was near this?
You wouldn't know.
Cool. So I don't hear them right now.
You can hear them underneath you, but you don't know
Okay.
exactly where they are.
Gotcha.
It's a small enough, and it's a stone space that it's kind of echoey, so it would be hard to tell exactly where they were in relation. But on your next turn, you'll be able to go up and look in the trapdoor
Wonderful.
if you want.
Yep,
All right.
that's his turn.
Rhys, somebody has just attempted to stab you. What would you like to do?
Rhys is going to grab the wrist of the dagger that's coming into him and attempt to pull him in and grab the back of his head and shove him into the anvil to try and knock him out.
Okay, let's call this a let's just call it a melee attack. He is aware of you, so you are going to have to reduce him to 0 hit points to knock him unconscious. He knows that this is an attack. So the house rule on knocking him unconscious only applies.
Oh,
if he-
okay.
it only applies if he doesn't know that there's a battle going on.
Yeah, I did not have my attempt to deceive him.
Yeah, no.
Okay, can
That
I
ship
change?
has sailed.
Can I change my action then?
Sure.
Okay. Instead, he's going to lean in very close as he puts his hand on his sword, and he's going to tell him, "If I draw my sword, you're going to die," and then stare at him with a low growl in an attempt to intimidate him.
Okay. Go
Yep.
ahead and make an intimidation check. This has an insanely high DC.
But I have advantage.
You do, but this has an insanely high DC.
19.
Okay. He just sort of looks at you and you're like, yeah, no, he didn't buy it. Are you
Okay.
going to move?
No, he's gonna stand his ground right there.
Okay. Bonus action? Anything else? Is that it?
Nope. He's concentrating on keeping Fenn invisible.
Okay. Cloud, you're up. You have just heard a bell ringing. You can hear shouting from inside this yard. There's yelling. It's Pandalirium.
All right. Cloud's gonna just pop over to the doorway real quick.
Okay.
And are both of these individuals asleep?
At this point in time, yes. You have, it's a full minute on sleep, right?
Okay.
Okay, so
That's
yeah. Yes, so you
Okay.
see Ahzyris behind the counter at this point. You see the two individuals, the boy and the legless man, on the floor asleep.
Cloud is going to hiss on their way to the doorway, pop in, see sleeping people, see Ahzyris, and be like, I think it's time that we should probably get out of here. And is going to look around outside just to see if anyone outside has noticed. I don't know if that's a perception check or not.
Anybody on the street? You mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, sure.
Oof, that's a 9.
Doesn't seem like anybody is particularly paying attention. A few people heard the bell ring and were kind of looking around, but nobody seems to be coming running.
Cool. Cloud is going to head into the crowd, mix in, disappear.
Okay. All right. So Cloud is making a beeline into the crowd. Fenn, let us go ahead and return to you in the basement. So at this point, you are hiding in the corner. You act first.
So
Everybody is where they are right now.
Okay. They're just standing there.
Yeah, they
they're
had
not-
just gotten there. They had just yelled up. They have not moved yet. So you have the first go.
So essentially, I can't slide past them into the hallway. I can't get to them to get up and out.
You cannot get past them to get into the hallway. You can attempt to, basically where you're standing is where sort of the ladder is to the wall. You could attempt to go straight up and out the hole.
Okay, I think Finn's gonna. I think Finn's gonna climb up and try to get back to the first floor.
Okay. You can go ahead and do that. You can attempt to do it stealthily, or you can just do it. You go first. You have your full movement. Which would you want to try and go stealthy, or want to?
I'm gonna try to do it stealthily.
Make a stealth roll.
It's a 19.
Okay, you begin very quietly shimmying your way up the ladder. You get to the top without being grabbed at all. What are you going to do when you get to the top?
When I get to the top,
you still basically have half your movement left. Climbing the ladder, we'll call it half your movement.
I think at that
Ahzyris
point,
is standing there. You are still invisible.
I think close the top.
Okay.
And then just yell, "We got him trapped down below!" In another voice again, no other than his own.
Okay.
And with that, try to move towards at least to the door where towards the door that Rhys and Maple had gone through.
Okay, so when you come up out of the trapdoor, you're basically right there. The trapdoor is now closed. They are not immediately coming up out of the hole after you. So that will end your turn. Moving to the upstairs crew. Maple, you're up. What would you like to do? There is a guard who just attempted to grab a hold of you. Siamak has attempted to stab Rhys. You probably have not heard Fenn yelling from inside. It's far enough that you probably didn't hear that.
Okay, Maple will go ahead and rage as she grabs her great axe, just muttering under her breath, "Oh, blood!" like to Rhys, but not to Rhys at the same time.
Okay.
We're in quite a scuffle, and I've had just about enough, oh, blood. And she'll go ahead and look right at big meaty orc.
Okay.
And say, "This is probably gonna hurt, bud." And she'll go ahead and just swing with her axe. Non-lethal damage, please.
Okay.
She will
sure.
attack. Okay. She will attack recklessly.
Go for it.
And take the -5 for that.
Make your attack.
So, actually, that's a 16 to hit.
Okay, so your axe comes over the top and just dives right into his shoulder and forearm. And, he gets an arm up enough and it just tears into this completely unarmored flesh. You just feel it sink in and hit bone.
18 damage.
He drops.
Okay.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Maple will just position herself in front of Rhys to make sure this guard can't get to him since he's obviously not fighting back.
Okay. That ends your turn, Maple. Rhys, this guard that is still standing, sees this. Maple, he is going to go ahead and use his spear to make an attack on you.
He gets advantage.
Good. Doesn't matter. He goes to plunge in. But he's shaken. Like, he just saw you cleave Cymac to the ground. And he sees your face, and as he goes to lunge in, he's sort of kind of dodging out of the way at the same time, and he just misses you completely. So that ends his turn. Ahzyris, what would you like to do?
That is a fantastic question. So Fenn has come up, the trap door is closed, and the exit to where everybody else is just open, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And there's one guard on Maple and Rhys, and the blacksmith is down, and I do not see where the other guards are?
That is correct.
Okay. He is going to cast Sleep one more time on the remaining guard.
Okay. Does that have a radius?
Yes, but it's 20-foot sphere, but he is positioning it in a way that it only will get him.
Okay, cool. Works for me.
Sick, nasty. 25 HP.
He drops to the ground asleep.
Cool. He will poke his head out and kind of just... And then he is going to leave.
Okay. So at this point, as far as you can tell, all of the threats in the yard are gone. Cymac is unconscious on the ground, and only unconscious because Maple said she was not doing deadly damage. The guard is asleep. We'll just go around the horn. Ahzyris is beating feet out of the space. Fenn, what do you want to do?
Calmly, I should clarify.
Fair.
Finn's gonna wait for Maple and Rhys.
Okay. Maple, what do you want to do?
Maple, having seen this guy miss, will just hold her arm up. Are you sure you want to do that, bud?
Well, he already has fallen asleep at this point.
Oh, he's asleep.
He's lying on the ground. Ahzyris cast sleep.
Okay.
So you just watched him go,
okay,
and hit the dirt.
Okay, then can Maple tie them up, please?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, you use your action to tie them up. Rhys, what would you like to do?
Rhys is going to draw his sword and put it to the neck of the smith and look at Maple and say, "You know we make a lot more money if he's dead, right? And he'll identify us and everything will be much more difficult in the city."
Oh, well, you know, but I would be definitely okay with killing him. He did not do a nice thing. I do not agree with kidnapping whatsoever. However, I would like to ask him why he did it first. You know, I would like to get some answers to give the dad just to make sure there's no one else in town who plans on doing the same thing.
Well, I'm fairly sure he tried to stab me because I'm a drow and some shady things were happening, so one can assume. And Rhys is going to step over to the barn, right?
Sure.
Peek inside. Who's in there?
You don't see anybody in there at this point. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, though.
Okay. That's a 1.
You don't see anybody in there.
Okay. Okay. He'll shut the doors and then look back at Mabel. Are we bringing him with? Are we interrogating? Are we going to see what is happening with Fenn? What are we doing?
Oh, but I think for sure our friends have higher priority than this. Can we maybe drag him inside? I'll do all the heavy lifting.
All right.
Where are
So
you dragging him? Into the shop?
I mean, there's nobody in the barn, right?
That we can tell.
Rhys didn't see anybody.
Looks clear. Looks
Rhys didn't see anybody.
incredibly clear with my astute vision.
Well, I don't like that. Can Maple go check?
Sure.
Okay. What was that again that you had him do? Perception?
Do an investigation check.
Oh, crap. Okay. That's an 11.
Looks clear.
Okay. You know what? Maple will actually look at Rhys. You know what, bud? If you want to go ahead and just cleave him through, I'm okay with that. I do not like people who attack my buds.
Yeah, Rhys doesn't hesitate. He just right in the throat.
Okay.
Yep.
Not a problem. Are you going to do anything with the other guy, or are you...
Maple will
Let
drag
him
the
live.
dead body into the barn.
Okay.
And then this guy's tiny, right? Can she
Compared
just,
to-
Cymac?
can she No, the guard.
Oh, yeah, the guard's light. I mean, he's a normal-sized human, but he's not...
Okay. She'll just heft him and walk into the shop. She doesn't
Okay.
want to kill more than she has to.
Okay. So
Rhys is gonna.
Go ahead, Rhys.
He was gonna make sure that we take something from Siamak that would be identifying. So search him real quick. Make sure that we get something that is identifying of him, besides
Sure.
like chopping off his head to show
Sure.
that.
Yeah, he's got he has a very ornate ring on
Okay.
his finger that is easy enough to pull off. You would imagine that
Got
it
it.
probably is identifying.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
All right. So you guys
Have they moved into the shop proper now?
That is the question I was about to ask. Have you moved into the shop proper?
Maple will advise Rhys, Bud, maybe you should go ahead and take a little peek-see in there because I'm carrying a little bit of extra weight right now.
Right. Rhys is gonna peek his head in there with his sword ready.
You see Fenn standing there expectantly.
Okay.
Do they see Fenn?
Oh no, they wouldn't see Fenn. You would see nothing there expectantly.
I sense his good looks.
Fenn
Good call.
the boy's still down below, but there's 3 like doors with your colored skin right down there, and I tried to be quiet, but they had it locked. I tried to steal a key, and then they came after me, and I just ran out and hid, trying to get them to scatter.
Well, Fenn, we've already killed this smith because he tried to stab me, so we need to finish the job. We can't come back here. And DM, would Rhys have any connection to or understanding of purple skin dwarves? Or
Yeah, you
lavender
know,
skin?
you would know him as Duragars.
Oh, sick. Great. All right, Fenn, let's go kill those dwarves downstairs and then rescue the boy, right?
And that's where we're going to go ahead and take a break. So, go ahead, grab yourself a drink, use the necessaries. We will be back in 10 minutes to see what on earth happens next. So, we will see you shortly. And we are back. So, at this point, let me go ahead and bring our map up again. So at this point, Maple and Rhys have made their way to the shop where Fenn is. Ahzyris is outside the shop. Cloud is outside the shop. Let me move the right guy. Siamak is dead outside the shop. Maple, you have a guard on your shoulder currently. The guard is asleep, as well as the legless man and the boy remain asleep. What would y'all like to do?
Maple's going to where the trapdoor she saw was.
Okay.
Throwing that thing open and walking her happy butt down the stairs.
Okay. So, Maple, you just drop down at the base of the stairs. There are these 2 Duragar guards. Each one of them is armed with a large knife. So, go ahead and roll initiative. I am going to go ahead and start bringing you guys into this as you enter. So, this is going to get interesting real quick. Fenn, I'm going to make you invisible for now until you come downstairs. All right. Maple, what'd you get?
12.
12. Okay. You go first.
Okay.
So there are these 2 guards that you can see. What do you want to do?
Maple, just as a bonus action, goes into a rage again, and then she would like to drop the guard at her feet, hold her great axe, say, all right, we're down here to grab the kid, so I'd very much appreciate it if you would just go ahead and hand him over, and maybe I'll let you live like I let this guy live. We'll see.
Okay, is that going to be the sum total of your action?
Can she hold her axe if they go to stab? She swings first.
Sure, I'll let you use that as a. I'll let you use the attempt to convince as a free action. Why not? Go ahead and make a persuasion or intimidation, your choice, whichever's better.
It'll be intimidation.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Okay, so seeing this, the first looks at the other one, and they don't make any attempt to attack. They are going to backpedal. So they are going to use their full movement to go ahead and retreat out of the space on their turn. Trying to get the hell away from you.
That was a good nat 20. Real good.
Oh.
Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
It was luck. Would you believe it?
So, at this point, then, Rhys and Fenn roll initiative.
15 for Rhys.
Okay.
9 for Fenn.
Okay. So, what do you 2 want to do? Are you dropping down into this space now?
Yes.
Okay.
Fenn is going to, well, let me ask. What Fenn would like to do, he has rope and he has a pair of traveler's clothes, and seeing the apprentice boy and the legless man, would like to see if his turn, if he can tie their arms and then tearing part of the clothes, gag them so they can't make any noise.
Okay, sure. So, Rhys, you drop down with Maple. Fenn, you can use your turn to go ahead and do that. Ahzyris and Cloud, what are you doing outside at this point?
Or walking away.
Okay.
Yes, we're power walking to the, maybe to the Invictus. Cloud, I have some ideas, Ahzyris. And if our companions survive, I would like to get us probably a job that has less drama and maybe, less sneaking.
Okay. So Cloud and Ahzyris are very, very stealthily walking away. All right, so we'll call this top of the round at this point. Rhys, you are up first. What would you like to do?
Rhys is going to look at Maple and say, let's get the boy, and then walk down the hall looking for what he assumes is going to be a boy caged up, or something like that. He hasn't been down here, so.
Yep. All right. So you start heading down the hall. You come to a T intersection. You can hear talking back in the corner. You can see the 2 guards that were fleeing from Maple, who you probably would have seen from the top of the trapdoor. You can see them moving down the hallway.
Rhys is going to. Nobody is close to him, right? So,
Nope.
But he can shout down the hall.
Yep.
I'm coming in. You're going to release the boy, or I'm going to kill everyone.
Make an intimidation check.
$23.
Okay.
Nice.
What language did you say that in?
Let's use Undercommon.
Okay. You hear back in Undercommon, he'll kill us. We can't just give him to you.
Who was he? The Smith.
What do you mean?
Who's going to kill you?
At this point, you are able to advance into the room and
Okay.
have this conversation.
Okay. He's gonna walk in, look around. He sees the boy, correct?
Oh yeah, he's in this cell, kind of cowering. Maple, are you gonna follow Rhys?
Hearing Rhys speak in a language she doesn't understand, she will proceed with caution.
Okay, easily done.
Just talking shit about you while you're in here.
thanks.
There is enough light that you should be able to see reasonably well. Okay, so one of the Durgar looks at you, Rhys, and says, "The Simak, he'll kill us if we give you the boy. What do you mean?"
Simak's dead. Don't worry about that. Stabbed him in the neck. He's very dead.
Who are you?
I'm trying out different names. You know me as Rick, I suppose. So I'm Rick. That's a boy I want. You give me the boy. You start a new life. Take whatever you want in the shop. And then you can get the fuck out of this kidnapping business. How about that? Better than dying, right?
He looks at you, and takes the keys off of his belt and tosses them your way.
Rhys will reach the catch.
Okay.
Open the cell. Does the boy look like the same? Like, are we rescuing the wrong kid? Like,
Make an investigation check.
Good question, ask.
investigation? Oh God.
Oh no.
Sowing doubt. That is a 6.
He's
Just looks like a
definitely
kid.
human.
Okay, great.
You did not
Well-
find a tabaxi child, so
Great.
you're on the right track, probably. None of
your-
you asked what the,
Ask him.
none
What's
of
your
you
name,
asked what
kid?
the kid looked like. So
What's I?
We did.
You
we
know,
did.
8 intelligence. That's what I got.
We got a description of the kid.
what's your name, kid?
Astron.
Meta question. Is that the?
That's the name you heard. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I didn't want to have to like look through my notes. Okay. All right. So, all right. Come on, kid.
All right.
And then,
They
does
are.
he have shoes and does he have like clothes? Is he gonna be like walking on the street looking like some?
He's dressed.
Okay, cool.
He's dressed.
How old is this kid?
He's like
14.
14.
Oh, okay. Doesn't need scooped. Noted.
Yeah. No, they're gonna let you go. Between Maple's intimidation and your intimidation, they are just really hoping that you're not lying about Simak being dead, but you're this far, and they're gonna go.
Nobody needs to be stealthy when we're fucking badass.
Oh, Bud, I've already thought of, we keep needing a name for ourselves. What about Bud Team 5? Okay, we can tell the others when we
All
go
right,
back up
that's
there.
fantastic. Let's maybe the kid will join in and it'll be Bud Team 6.
Oh, Bud. I do maybe need a real apprentice. It's worth a shot.
Okay, so you guys scoot up out of the basement. Fenn, you're still standing there at the top?
Seeing them come up,
The legless man and the boy are tied up at this point. You've bound them and gagged them. They are beginning to wake up now.
just with a fake, my best fake, invisible voice, just be like, for these kind of dark kidnappings, we won't say anything, but you don't mention this either. But we could remember.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh God.
You're
Oh, that's
natural.
Far
that,
more
that,
numbers.
that
What
is
party
that
is
is he's gonna say that's an 11.
Okay. It's entirely possible that they are going to believe you.
So he
You
says
feel very intimidating.
Fenn says that in his deepest, like, we will remember. But at the end, it kind of squeaks a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
we will remember. But no, remember.
Rhys,
And then
Rhys kind of nods and says, "We'll work on that."
Okay. So you, what are you doing?
We're taking the kid out to the street, and
Okay. You make your way out to the street. You can see Cloud and Ahzyris just a little ways down the block. They're not too far away yet.
It's casually walking.
hoods up,
Shopping as we walk.
hoods up inconspicuously. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you
just
guys want to
walking.
do?
Maple's calling out for Cloud pronto. Bud, you missed out back there, bud. It's not our usual MO. I'm glad you got out of there. Your fur
Maple.
definitely.
Maple, you're yelling.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Just don't bring any more attention to yourselves. You are the. Cloud is gonna growl, and you feel the ground shake a little bit around you as their eyes blaze like a bright blue color, and basically they've cast Thaumaturgy. And Cloud's going to say, "You all, we need to talk about this, and Maple, you need to stop talking about this so that people do not find us." And is going to quietly continue walking back towards the bear bar.
Okay. Is everybody going to follow the growling tabaxi?
Ahzyris is, because we were just a pair of buds walking around shopping together.
All right.
how long has Fenn been invisible, and how much more invisible time is there?
I mean, all told at this point, excuse me, you guys were moving pretty quickly, all things considered. So you probably still have a solid half an hour of invisibility.
So could Fenn make it back to the Zobra Bar invisible?
Sure. If you guys don't stop someplace along the way.
I think Finn's just gonna do exactly that.
Take the kid to get some funnel cake and play a few carnival games on the way back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. So, yes.
He shows up in front of his dad, and
Yeah.
he's just like holding like 8 stuffed animals.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like cotton candy all over his face.
Yeah, just smeared.
I mean, he's 14. He's not 5. But yeah, you know, it's not,
I
he can
mean,
probably
when
feed himself.
When I
I've
was
seen
14,
some
I'm
14-year-olds
just
smear. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair.
I'm with Mirage. I've done
Alright.
that.
On the way, if there is a food vendor, Rhys will buy the kids some food.
You can easily grab something to feed him along the way. So you make your way back to the Zovra. Seemingly, everybody give me a perception check.
Perception check.
It's my best one. 6 for Rhys.
10.
Ahzyris got an 18.
Okay.
Nice.
Also 10.
Fenn rolled a 1 for a total of 6.
Okay.
Nice, dude.
All right. So all of you obviously being reasonably aware of the fact that you could be being followed, looking around, see no evidence that you are thus far. It does not seem that anybody is giving chase right now. You are able to make your way back to the Zovra seemingly unmolested.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, all the way back
Upon
then.
entering, would we see Kholdrees where he was before?
He, in fact, was. And as the door opened, he looks up and sees his son and springs up and runs over and grasps the boy to him. And thank you. Thank you.
Cloud. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Hmm?
Oh,
I can
Cloud's
say
going
thank you
to
again, but go ahead.
just extend one claw out of their paw and say, "You'll pay us extra for this."
Okay.
Rhys is going to hand over the identifying ring and say, well,
Let's come. He sees the ring and he's
Discuss
immediately
this.
like waving you down a hall into a room. Are you? I assume.
Yeah,
Who's going with?
Yeah.
Rhys will go.
Okay. Everybody.
Maple's going.
All right. So you follow along. He comes into the room. He closes the door. Tell me what happened.
We tell him what happened.
Okay. Do you tell him the truth?
Order. Oh, I don't know. I'll let the rest of the party decide.
I think Maple will just say, you know what, bud? We did try to go with it without lethal force in the beginning. Unfortunately, he wouldn't stop.
I don't care about the lethal force. Does anyone know who you are?
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Some Dwargar. So it's a kidnapping arrangement, isn't it? Right? Organized, right?
Simak dealt in cures.
What?
Cures. So what he explains to you is that Simak dealt in medicinal type cures. And he explains that in the Commonwealth, any sort of healing that is not done by divine magic has been criminalized. So Simak has used basically the spoils of his silver making process to make these purported cures out of silver, and that he has used people like Kholdrees who have legal business endeavors to transport these materials to various people. That Simak took Astron because Kholdrees had refused to deal with him anymore. He was no longer going to transport these wares for Simak, and as a result, Simak took his son hostage to say, no, you're in fact going to do this. So that is the story that he explains to you.
Right. So the next thing that I'm going to ask, you're obviously worried about us being identified. What's the general reach and power of this organization, would you say?
There's no organization per se. It's his...
Just a single dealer or whatever?
It's his endeavor. I mean, if he's dead, then...
Well, that's good news.
I
That's fine.
imagine his people are just going to scatter. Was he the only one who died? Did you kill his partner?
I can imagine that was the legless man, right?
Yes. Is he still alive?
No, we didn't. He is. He's very alive.
All right. Has he seen you?
Only, who did see? And he looks to the others in the party.
He definitely saw Maple. He definitely saw you. He had seen Fenn with Maple the day before. He saw Ahzyris in the shop, but didn't necessarily know that Ahzyris was with you. Cloud is the only one that has not been seen at all. Well done, Cloud.
Ahzyris will explain that he explains what he was doing and that he doesn't think they know that he's with them, but he has been seen.
I would just be wary. If you...
Sure. Yeah, that's why we have a target on our backs now, so you can pay us
Well,
more.
this kind of information could have been more helpful in the beginning.
I think so too. That's another reason you should pay us more.
You didn't ask.
We did ask you lots of questions.
For you to come out after the fact and say these things are concerns, I mean, when you're doing a job, you essentially want to provide the proper information beforehand so that you don't encounter these kind of difficulties.
Make an intimidation check. With advantage. because you're surrounded by armed friends.
That's a 14.
Okay. He just looks at you all. I don't want any trouble. I appreciate the work that you've done, and if Cymac's dead, then I don't have to worry about this ever again.
I'd like clarification on one thing.
Go ahead.
I say that in character.
Yeah, sure.
What's your relationship with the Burgomaster?
Burger. Yeah.
Burger?
Burger Shampira.
Right.
Yes.
What's your relationship there? And why did he recommend that we help you? You must be friends? What is it?
We have known each other for some time. He knew that I was in need of some assistance. So...
Right. So you're going to tell him what a great job we did and that we won't have any trouble with the law, correct?
Oh, certainly. Again, you have done me, and he kind of just pats the boy on the head a little bit. You've done me a great service. So, we had said 200 if Cymac was dead and the boy was returned safely. It seems that you have incurred some additional difficulty for yourself. 300, and I will let the burger know that should he need individuals like yourselves, you might be worth employing. Maybe his patronage can be extended a little further.
Well, that is appreciated. And I will say, we are happy that you are reunited with your son. It's just, we wish you'd been a little bit more forthcoming with this partner in particular. But I just had one other thing. These purported silver cures, that sounds to me like some kind of snake oil. Were these things actually function, or was this just some giant scam that this silversmith was running?
I don't know. I never attempted to use any of it myself. It's entirely possible it was just a scam. I don't know.
All right.
If this was an illegal thing that was going on, I mean, would it be worth anything now that his partner, the legless band, is down, his boss? Maybe we could let someone know and they can go get the rest of this illegal stuff, maybe?
I think if you were to go yourselves to the Invictus and ask for the burger and let him know what happened, he might be able to introduce you to the magnet, and you may be in the good graces of the city.
I just don't feel like, unless we follow through and make sure none of this bad stuff is off the streets, that we really did the best job, you know? So that's the only reason I was asking.
I think if you go and tell him this and take the ring with you and give it to them, I think they will be very happy with you.
Does Cloud believe them?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Can I also do that?
Sure.
I want
Thanks.
to insight this whole conversation. Just a 12.
19.
Ahzyris, he is absolutely telling you the truth.
Cool. Ahzyris is just nodding, listening, but quiet.
All right. And like Cloud's claw will go back into their pod. I apologize for my outburst, but you see, it is not easy to be us. We accrue many enemies, and so I really appreciate you paying us our worth.
You've done remarkable work. Truly. Thank you.
Most of the enemies are really just jealous of Cloud's great fur.
It's true.
They are lovely.
Well, we'll let you spend some time getting reunited with your boy. I know that's got to be a relief for you and for the little fella.
The little fellow's human, so he's almost as tall as you, Fenn.
Ahzyris is already heading out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we all
Bryce will
like
go.
going outside? Can Maple like usher everybody into a little huddle real quick?
I mean, we could also, we're still in the inn, right? We could just hop up to one of our rooms.
You can certainly go up
Okay.
to your rooms.
Yeah. Can Maple just lead everybody up to she and Cloud's room, please?
Yes.
Easily done.
Okay. Just real quick, everybody, and Rhys, I definitely don't want to offend you, bud, but I think after what happened today, I am definitely not up for possibly going into the woods to meet people that we don't know, because this did not go as planned. So would it be okay with you if maybe we just tried to get in the good graces of the government? Because I think that's our only option right now. She's looking very nervous and like looking at Cloud for like reassurance because she does not like what she used her axe for today.
Well, if you're asking my opinion, I generally, I was only kind of kidding about wanting to do a criminal job, but I mean, if one comes up and doesn't put our necks on the line, I suppose we could do something like that, as long as it's not kidnapping or something like that. But it's fine. I think it's a good idea.
I just think
Oh, go ahead.
this is an awful decent amount of money for doing something good, but if you want to see what the bad people are like in town, I mean, I think it's worth it. If we take the good jobs, we'll find out who the bad people are just from the other side of things.
I would like to stay in the good graces of the people here, since that has not been my relationship previously.
Rhys is just going to look at you serious and be like, That's
Well, it does seem to me that at least on this, and admittedly, this all went a little bit tits up, and I'm sorry. I tried to make a move. I must have used all my dexterity skills last night, and so I apologize. I didn't realize that they could train you quite that way. I'll keep that in mind for any further philandering I might have. But
Fenn,
it does, yes.
You did fine.
Yes,
Yes, you did fine, Fenn.
It
did
was.
fine.
I will say that we did this job from a high government official. Apparently, there was I don't know. Sounds like some kind of snake oil to me. So maybe it wouldn't be to our disadvantage to inform them so they don't hear it from somebody else. And because they gave us this job, maybe it will give us at least some kind of standing here. Even though just so we're not constantly pursued.
Constantly looking over our shoulders. I agree.
Ahzyris nods.
I'm used to being looked, and we'll be looked at some, but yeah, I think at the end of the day here, as crazy as this was, and for a moment there, I was just glad last night happened, because I was like, I didn't think I was gonna make it out of there, but I was like, well, at the end of the day, we did at least do a good thing, and we got paid for it. And Cloud, I guess you're the way you convinced them, and everybody else too. So,
in my opinion, I think that maybe a good way for us to repay the town for the little bit of mischief that we were up to is maybe contributing to the local economy. And there is going to be a festival going on. So I think after we talk to the burger, maybe we could go spend of our well-earned coin on that. What do you think, guys?
That sounds great. If you all would just mind waiting downstairs, I would just like to talk to Maple very quickly.
Last thing, probably a good idea to go stay somewhere else. We can think about that, but it's probably not a good idea to stay in the same place that we were and have been identified as being.
I would like to see what the burger has to offer. Go ahead, Ahzyris.
Oh, Ahzyris was just kind of nodding along and has been at the door waiting after you said you wanted to have a conversation with Maple, and he's just kind of awkwardly standing there
Rhys is gonna head out.
Okay.
Fenn's invisible in the corner. No. Fenn is out.
Fenn, as you are walking down the stairs, the invisibility drops and you're suddenly able to be seen again.
Wow.
Cloud Maple, the room is yours.
Maple does take a deep breath and look at Cloud. Cloud, I know that I need a stern talking to right now, bud, but try not to make it sting too much, okay? And then she'll open her eyes and, like, with her hands crossed in her lap, look up like a child who feels very guilty about taking the last cookie from the cookie jar.
Looking cute is totally working. Maple, you cannot be so loud about some of these things. We've been kicked out of too many towns. This is very serious. Now.
Yeah, but old habits die hard. I am so sorry. The fog had me in a real bad spot for a lot of days, and I don't have any more excuses. So, duly noted. Feel free to, if you have any other spells that could shut me up, I give you full consent to use them on me, okay?
I appreciate it. But I mean, also, I thought that yesterday, your intelligence is now higher than mine. Metagame level speaking, I did not expect this. I hope that this is the last time we have to have a conversation like this.
Oh, I hope so, bud. I hope that I'm proving to you slowly that I am capable of making somewhat okay decisions now, and I do feel remorse for using things that I shouldn't. So, just continue keeping me in line, and I'll do the same for you. But as far as I can tell, you seem to be a pretty good cat, just on all levels.
All right. Well, this is good. This is good enough for me. And Cloud's tail is just twitching erratically all over the place, but at a very low degree next to the floor. I don't like having these talks. We'll just pretend like it's everything is fine. Everything's fine now. Everything's fine, and they're just gonna head downstairs with Maple.
Okay. So you all regather down in the tavern area of the Zovra. What would you like to do?
Head to the...
We know where to find the burger, right? Not the magnate? We asked the burger for the magnate?
Correct.
Right. I think we want to talk to the burger first.
Sure. So you guys are going to go ahead and make your way towards the Invictus.
That's correct.
Okay. Easily done.
Cool.
It takes you about 15-20 minutes to wend your way that way. Nobody seems to pay any attention to you on the street. Things are now getting more lively. There's now music that you can hear from the square as you begin approaching. There's a large crowd, lots of people coming and going. The games are now going on, things like that. You approach the Invictus. There are still 2 guards out front. As you approach, they state your business.
We're here to talk to the burger.
Who are you? You've never seen these 2 before, so they don't know who you are.
We saved his life the other day. I think he should remember us.
Did we?
One moment, and one of them goes inside, comes back out. You see the same sergeant who you had seen before. Oh, all right. Come on in. And he brings you in, escorts you up to the 4th floor. This is now the first time where Ahzyris, Fenn, and Maple have seen this level, which is, rather than regular sort of hotel floors like you had been on before, this has a very large open area, sort of a common area with a handful of tables, people chatting, all of them looking very well-dressed and official. There is a set of doors at the end of the hallway with 2 guards flanking it. The door is open, and as you come up the stairs, the burger looks up from a conversation and sees you and just gives a gesture, which the sergeant sees and points you in. I see you here. What do you have to offer?
Well, I guess first we wanted to thank you for that letter of introduction that you gave us.
I'm sorry, who are you?
My name's Fenn.
These are our companions. Cloud will gesture to the other ones that were not there before.
The creatures.
Yes. tell me.
We helped your friend Kholdrees?
Kholdrees.
Kholdrees.
And although Kholdrees was not very forthcoming about the details of the job and the implications there within, we still completed it rather successfully. And Cloud's fur is like all puffed up, like trying to look super important. But we would really appreciate to know that perhaps we are under some kind of protection under your government or your people while in this town. We're just looking. We did the job, but we could have left some ruffled feathers, and we don't want to necessarily have a target on our backs.
Ahzyris motions to you and kind of just does the ring. The ring from the man that we killed out of character.
Did we give that to Kholdrees, or
Did.
He said
He
he
said
said to
he said for you to give it to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you have it.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Rhys will just hold it up.
Ah,
We understand that this individual was trying to sell some kind of silver charm cure. It sounded like snake oil to me. So we were able to take care of the task at hand. It just might have been a little messier than we normally would have liked, and we want to make sure that we let you know, because we understand that that was not something that was
he asks
smiled upon.
Sure, he asks a few questions, basically wanting to know who's dead, who's alive, what status things were left in. Do you tell him everything? Are you not telling him anything?
Just tell him.
I think we could just say that there was only one individual that was killed, and that was the owner of that ring. There were some others that we, I guess, intimidated. We weren't looking to kill. It's not what we do.
He just holds up a hand. Kiskin.
What name did he say?
Kiskin. Kiskin. A man comes walking over. Burger. This is Magnet Kiskin. He is the mayor of Casina. I believe he might be interested in the information that you just shared with me. I assume you then share it with him. He looks at you. Who is left alive?
We tell him.
Okay. So he looks at you, goes, where are you staying tonight?
We weren't sure where to stay.
We were hoping that we would stay here, actually, if you wouldn't mind covering.
He looks at you for a minute. Give me the ring.
Rhys hands it over.
The magnet looks over at someone who is dressed more like a town watch would be, as opposed to a soldier. Has a conversation with him. They head out. If we find what you say we will find, your lodging for this evening is at the honor of the city.
You're
Wonderful.
very kind. Thank you.
That's very nice of you. And Cloud will, I'm assuming we're leaving, so Cloud will kind of turn to the burger and say, and we would be very happy to do any other jobs that you have, but I'm going to say I would prefer one that involves just more of the clean cut stuff, like, hey, there's a really big evil thing in the backyard. Can you go kill it? That would be nice.
He looks at you and chuckles a little bit. The big evil thing. All right. Well, I will be in town for a few more days before I head back to Akkot. So, enjoy the fest. I believe we will see each other again before you leave. Do make sure if you stay anywhere else that we know where to find you, and I will send for you if I have anything in particular. I do want to speak with Kholdrees and make sure that he is happy.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Why don't we go get a drink downstairs as we wait?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, and you are sort of ushered
I'm not-
out. You will obviously get the room for the evening without any problems, because what you said was there is there. So,
Ahzyris, did you see the size of those snack platters?
No, I'm afraid I wasn't paying attention to that in particular.
Well, I know Cloud noticed.
so are you guys just going to hang?
Cloud's gonna get that beer and like probably like drinking more than they probably have ever in the company of the rest of their companions.
Okay.
Is probably on beer 3 in no time.
Okay.
Fenn is going to ask whether it's the waitstaff or the receptionist that we met before, just any specifics about the festival, whether there were special treats or whether there were competitions or other skill games
Sure.
that
So
would be taking place and when they would occur.
Sure. So you hear that there is all sorts of different stuff. They describe that this is sort of the this is the chance for the average folk to get out and actually have some sort of entertainment. So there's everything from hatchet throwing to drinking contests, arm wrestling competitions to crafts and things like that. And then they describe this event. And as they begin talking through this, Rhys, you would recognize this as being very similar to Siege Ball. And what they describe for you is a competition where there are 2 teams of 5, and you are each team targets the opposing team's tower. And this, you would hear from the conversation, was probably what you saw being put up. You use a ball called a siege ball, and you attempt to damage the tower in such a way where it falls down. As a team, you are able to attempt to block the ball. And in blocking the ball, you are able to prevent damage from occurring to the tower. And basically, the idea is you just sort of find somebody who's there that wants to play, that has a team, and you go up against them. And there's nothing formal about it, but there's a lot of side betting. So there's a lot of betting between the teams that are playing. There's a lot of side bets as groups come and go. But it's there.
So after that explanation, Rhys is going to look at the others and say, I was something of an all-star, actually, in Easterland for something very similar. So if we want to play this game, then we can do that, and I will inadvertently lead us to victory.
God, that just sounds like, yeah, back in high school, I was captain of the siege ball team.
Really cool.
That's exactly what he said.
But I don't think.
Yeah, but for
anyone
Rhys, that
else-
was like 7 minutes ago. He's 18. He's yeah.
I don't think anyone would object to you being team captain, but I mean, as long as none of us can get picked last, if you just pick us all first right now, I'm on your team. That sounds fun.
Picking up their 4th beer, Cloud's gonna put a paw heavily on Rhys' shoulder and be like, let's do it. Let's go.
We can beat.
Cloud, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Rhys is going to make sure that everybody sees his Letterman jacket. He's going to like pull it on.
So saving throw?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 20.
All right. So
for the weirdest moments.
So you hitting your 4th ale, as that goes down, you feel that you started, at one point you thought you were actually getting a little tipsy, and you suddenly have this moment of clarity where you are just completely locked in, and you essentially have drunk yourself sober and are just laser focused now and ready to go.
I'm ready to win. Let's go.
Never seen Cloud in their cups before. That is impressive. We could definitely be the Drow All-Stars. And Maple, did you hear there was arm wrestling? I might have to see if they even have an archery contest or something.
Had you said Drow Stars, I would have given you inspiration, but you didn't. So
Dang it.
that opportunity was missed once again.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but and Maple will. Her gears are spinning. She was keeping an eye out for anything that was a test of strength, and that's top of her list.
Cool.
So
There's also I probably should pick up a few things. I kind of had to tear up my clothes and then use my rope, and I think my axe is still in some cave back in the Politia. So I'm starting to run out of stuff.
I do need to also buy some things, and also this event sounds very fun, but it also sounds very physical, and I think I will sit this one out.
Ahzyris, two things. There is something that you can do that's very useful, and then secondly, it's a 5-person team, so I would prefer that you not sit it out because I don't want some random casino, whatever you call them.
We could use
Cassinian.
Cassinite's good.
Cassinian.
Cassinian.
Cassinian. That's good.
The other thing is to change the topic. I had been planning to visit a temple, and I was wondering, since you're in the market for a new deity, maybe come with me.
Love to. He still kind of looks a little like wary about the game. He's basically like just a tall, frail nerd. So he's big, yeah, but you could still snap him in half. And he's just sitting there like,
Maybe Ahzyris I can cast inheritability on you.
Ahzyris, every good team has a good cheerleader.
what?
All right, so are you gonna head to the fest first? What?
I think we should do the sporting event because it feels like there's other stuff that people might individually want to do, and if Ahzyris is up to be on the team, we should do that first.
I guess if he's being peer pressured into it.
If there's a festival going on, shops are probably also closed because shop owners will probably also not want to be out of the festival activities.
True,
So,
but it would be a lot of
For
business.
customers, yeah.
Well, maybe this
can
is a somewhat less perilous team building exercise than the ones we've undertaken recently. So,
Okay.
I've always had fun.
All right. So you guys are going to go ahead and head out of the Invictus into the fest itself. Are we going to
Fucking
attempt?
guess.
Are we going to attempt Siege Ball as our first event?
Gotta blow off some steam after killing
Yeah.
somebody, you know?
Okay. So
Yeah.
easily done. You make your way over towards Siege Ball, and there's all kinds of people around this pit that's been erected. They're yelling, they're cheering. You see money going back and forth, and as you walk up, Cloud, you would recognize a soldier who was one of the not a senior sergeant like the one who had ushered you in to see the burger, but the woman who had been standing outside of the door the first time that you had gone in to meet the burger. There was a sergeant standing there who had kind of opened the door and allowed you in. She's standing there with a group of soldiers, and they're sort of gabbing and talking. They see you walk up. Playing?
Are they look like they're another team? Like they're a team?
Oh yeah, they're ready to
Sounds
play.
like it.
They're all
Yeah,
standing there
ACAB,
with
let's
arms
fucking
crossed
go.
like this.
Let's
Yeah, they have
we
jackets
totally
made.
better than you.
Cloud's fucked up right now.
Thankfully, Cloud did really well on their Constitution save, so
Okay.
they do not have disadvantage. But
Okay.
all right, let's go.
Does
ahead.
this
Let's-
look like a Dex or a con or a Dex or like a strength based game?
Okay, so the way
From what I'm seeing.
So the way this works is that you are throwing a ball, and you are making a an attack throw with a ranged weapon.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a dex to attack.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
ball does 1d4 damage.
Okay.
You are making an attack throw against an opponent's AC. So if you hit and do whatever damage you want. If you don't hit, they're able to block and catch/soak the damage. It doesn't do any damage to you.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Can Ahzyris Eldritch Blast the ball?
No.
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 Just like a baby Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, no. There is no. They're very clear about the fact that there's no magic. This is
No buffing the
As
ball.
soon as they say no magic, you guys see Ahzyris just kind of like,
Sweat drop. Sweat drop.
And so sort of like dodgeball, the ball just goes back and forth. So
Okay.
it's there's 5 on their team, there's 5 on your team, and we're gonna go for it. So the sergeant looks at you, Cloud. Want to make it interesting?
I don't know.
I think maybe you don't have the best
Rhys
judgment right
is
now.
nodding.
20 gold.
I don't think.
Wait,
Rhys is nodding.
before we make a decision, we were being explained the rules already, right?
Yes.
Is this the kind of thing like it goes, me, Steph, Jake,
Yeah, it's
like
turns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not all
They
on
take-
one person.
Correct. They take a turn, you take a turn, back and forth.
Okay. Just as an example, do I get my +6 like when I would throw a javelin?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Whatever you would do with a ranged weapon, you would get that bonus.
Cloud
Cool.
takes the hint from Ahzyris's gesture and is like, just does the thing, and but like with pause.
I love that.
And moves back, and if it's okay with Ahzyris, leads Ahzyris like out of eyesight, if possible.
Yeah. Although he is, don't step on my keyboard. He is still almost 7 feet tall, so like out of eyesight, but yes.
Well, at least out of range of them. Cloud's gonna cast Enhance Ability on Ahzyris.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Or yeah, just some sort a deception check in general.
Question for
Whichever is better for you.
I don't know which one's better. That one. 10.
Okay.
I'm giving you bonus
Question
to
for-
Dex.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can Rhys set up Ahzyris as like a goalie just to stand in front of the tower to get hit by the ball because
Sounds
they're
good.
so tall? And then also Rhys is gonna help play goalie, I guess. And can we just feed the ball to Maple
So
basically, and then Rhys will play goalie?
everybody has to rotate through throwing, and everybody
Oh my
rotates
God.
through
Okay,
being thrown.
How could
at
so I
you
can't
do
use
this?
strategy at all. Okay,
effectively. No.
Nice try.
No, and
Okay.
you probably wouldn't want to use Ahzyris as the goalie because you have the highest AC.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
So if
that was my
somebody's
suggestion. Like
attacking
for
against your AC, you would want the higher AC. But
okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
no, it's going to rotate through
Okay,
because there's a range.
Also
Okay.
against our ACs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
okay, I understand the game now.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what order will you go in? You do not need to roll initiative for this. You can just tell me what orders you want to go in.
Ahzyris wants to go last so that he can observe what the fuck is going on first.
Okay.
I call second to last.
Right,
Okay.
Rhys will go first and demonstrate, I guess.
All right.
Maple will go after Rhys.
All right. So, Fenn, you.
Fenn will go like 7th.
Yeah.
So Fenn will be in the middle.
Okay.
Part of round 3, Fenn's like,
Fenn will throw on round 15.
All right. 18.
This is gonna be
15,
great. You guys got this.
We can do this.
You got this.
Okay.
We can do this, y'all.
All right, Rhys, you are. Just give me a straight up D20 roll. We'll determine which team goes first.
Okie dokie.
As long as you beat a 3, it's you.
I got a 5.
Okay, it's you.
Woo!
Success. All right, so the tower itself has 20 hit points. So
Okay.
when you attack, roll your attack, roll a 1d4.
Okay. So that, and then. Oh. 1d4.
So what's your attack?
My attack is a 17.
Okay, so you throw, as that ball comes across, the sergeant who had spotted Cloud and tried to challenge goes to try and block and doesn't quite get in front of it. The ball tears through and slams into the tower, doing how much damage?
2. Does it include my strength bonus or no?
No.
Okay.
Just a straight up roll. All right. So it is now her turn. They are rolling against your individual ACs. Okay? So, Rhys, she looks at you, picks that ball up, winds up and tosses, and you get right in front of it and just smack it down to the ground. Easily done.
Easterlin.
Captain.
Well,
Maple.
you are a Drow Star.
Maple. Rhys picks the
Where's
ball
your
up,
letter-
tosses it to you.
Your Letterman jacket.
Hold on. That drink, you have to like crush it against your head, throw it on the ground, just go, ah! Just.
All right,
Anyways.
Maple, make your roll.
Does a nat 20 do anything extra?
Nat 20 is
You
double
win.
damage.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So you throw one of the other soldiers. Just can't even attempt to get in front of this thing, and you just zoom it right past him. How much damage?
6.
Okay. So now they're getting cranky. They are now starting to go, what the fuck, all right, what's going on here?
All right, Maple.
And
Woo!
the guy who this ball just went zinging past, and you you just blew it right past him. He's like, all right. And you can see him, he's trying to talk himself up. He's building himself up. All right, you got this. He reaches down, he gets the ball, and he looks at you. I'm coming for you. And as that ball comes out of his hand, he does this amazing, beautiful throw, this great follow through, and it lands about 2 feet in front of you on the ground and kind of rolls right up to you. And he just sort of immediately deflatedly goes,
Oh.
Aw.
Fenn, you are up.
All right. Fenn, whoops. Fenn comes up, so I think I could get a hang of this, and rolls 23.
I should have made the score harder.
We were fucking crushing it.
Fenn looks up, kind of surprised by all this, just kind of over his shoulder goes, and this ball just zooms. Nobody can get anywhere near it. Doing how much damage?
2.
All right, and now having hit the tower's kind of rattling a little bit, not too much. Having seen all this, they kind of huddle up on the other side for a little bit. Just a minute or so, just have a real quick conversation. Like, all right, we got to get this shit together. We're pretty good at this. We got money on the line. And one of the soldiers picks it up, points at Rhys, shakes his head, gives a throw. Fenn, as that ball comes in, you just see it zooming right in, and you just get a hand up and you literally catch it mid-air.
Oh, yeah. I got the reflexes of a tabaxi.
And you hand the ball over to Cloud. Cloud. Go ahead.
Go get him, Cloud. Go get him.
I just imagined like tripping. Watch me roll a natural 1 after that line. I roll an 8.
Okay, so Cloud, though you're not too disadvantaged, your perception may be just a little off from your drinking, and you kind of telegraph your move a little bit. So as the ball comes out of your paw, your follow-through isn't entirely great, and the team on the other side can see it, and they manage to get in front of it and knock it to the ground kind of frantically. They were concerned that this was not going well for them at all, not having scored a hit on you people yet. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all right, Cloud. That's all right. It's all about the confidence.
Thanks, Fenn.
You'll get him next time.
So they pick the ball up to make their next throw. Cloud, somehow you use your tail and swat the ball out of the way as it comes past you.
I'm just spinning randomly.
That's how I did it. Twirling. And somehow the ball just kind of gets flacked by your tail, failing to connect with your tower.
Did they teach that at the Drow Star Academy, Rhys? That's a new one.
Cloud, I think you're sobering up.
Ahzyris, the ball rolls over to your feet and you're up.
Oh boy. Cool.
All eyes on Ahzyris.
And remind me, the enhance ability, is that advantage?
Advantage.
Thank God, because I rolled a 1. Give me just a second.
Oh wait, I don't think it works on if it's a dex check it is, but if it's an attack roll, no, it wouldn't.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 5 with advantage, so either way it's a no.
All right. So Ahzyris, the ball comes out of your hand and gets almost to the middle of the arena and just sort of takes
You just kind of like nods looking at it
and stops. One of the team from the other side walk halfway across the arena, pick the ball up, and go back to their side to make their attack.
That's good strategy, Ahzyris. You're going to wear them out, making them walk that far. That's good job.
Rhys doesn't say anything, but he's looking in just extreme disappointment at Ahzyris.
The ball...
Ahzyris just kind of like looks at him with like, I told you I didn't want to do this.
The ball comes flying from across the other team. Son of a bitch. And apparently this guy is as bad as Ahzyris is. Because with a fucking
every team has one.
The ball comes out and falls. And that... Statistically, I should not be rolling this bad on every roll. But independent events. So, top of the round, Rhys. The ball has to be retrieved from the middle of the floor. You retrieve it. You go ahead and make your throw.
That would be a 10.
Okay, so the team captain from the other side gets up, grabs the ball out of midair as it is on its way, turns around and rapid fires it back at you. You grab the ball in return and haul it in.
Toss it over to Maple.
All right, Maple, make your attack.
Maple winds up, but for some reason she aims well. It's a 24 to hit, but for only 1.
Okay, so that ball comes out, slides right past the defender, racking itself into the tower to do some damage. They look at you and they're like, all right, okay. Picking up the ball, they're going to make their attempt. And you, attempting to get in front of it, are not able to, and that ball just crams into your tower for the first time for 3 points of damage. Fenn, the ball is on your side. You are up.
All right, so Fenn kind of does this almost like a somersault soccer throw, trying to use all his ability. It does like this like front flip and hauls off and throws it. And a 13.
All right, so really, really fancy. It looks good. The crowd goes, oh, this is amazing. And the defender is able to knock the ball to the ground.
Oh, man, I got cocky.
They scoop the ball up, fire it back your direction, and Fenn, despite being sort of disappointed, you're still able to get yourself in front of the ball, get it knocked down to the ground with your shoulder, and avoid your tower being damaged. Cloud, it is your turn.
I stop spinning and try to imitate what Fenn did. Hey, I rolled a 20.
Okay.
Oh,
Hell
So-
yeah.
Woo. What do I roll for damage?
So 1d4. So Cloud, having picked the ball up, decides that, all right, fuck it, I got it, and just zings this thing at the tower. The
Rolled 3 points of damage.
the defender attempts to get a hand in front of it, just barely gets a finger on it. You actually hear their finger break as the ball goes straight across their hand, and the tower shakes.
there
Did I
you
do
go,
good,
Cloud.
Fenn?
As
Did I do?
that
Okay, great.
ball lands.
That was. I got cocky. You showed the right amount of confidence.
The soldier whose finger broke looks at you, takes their finger, snaps it back into place, and then picks the ball up with the other hand and will make an attack throw.
These guys really need a win, I guess.
He is not left-handed. So as he throws, the ball just sails wide and makes no contact whatsoever. I really don't think I've rolled over a 10 almost this entire thing. So,
Wow.
Cloud
it's
breaking
pretty
fingers and
fucking-
spirits.
pretty terrible. All right, so Ahzyris, you're up.
All right.
We believe in you.
Thanks.
Serious.
Make them walk some more. Wear them out.
That's a 12 to hit.
Okay, so as that ball comes across, the guy who had thrown against you just as poorly as you threw before tries to jump in front of it and can't quite get there. The ball goes right over his head and hits the tower. How much damage?
Ahzyris looks shocked.
The other team looks just as shocked as you do.
3?
Okay, cool. So now this tower is looking very rough.
There you go, big fella.
There are holes punched in it. It's teetering. They pick the ball up. They're going to give it another throw. I can't throw stuff because it's too far for me to go get it with being on camera. But with a fucking 4, the ball comes out. This guy decided he was going to attempt to be really crafty. He was going to go with this sidearm submarine throw and throws it out of the ring. And somebody has to grab the ball and throw it back in. Rhys, you're up.
Rhys, seeing Ahzyris actually hit something, is going to go over and a little too aggressively slap him on the shoulder, just in a congratulatory manner, before picking up the ball and slinging it overhead for a 16 to hit.
Okay, so you go, that ball comes sliding in. The team captain on the other side looks you straight in the eye as they bat that ball to the ground.
Okay.
They pick the ball up. They're going to give it another throw at you. You, as that ball comes in, you do almost exactly the same thing, but you need to keep your eye on it this time. But two-handed, take that ball down to the ground. Maple, you're up.
So Maple rolls a 13.
Okay. You go ahead. You give an attack roll. They're able to block it. They're going to pick it up. They're going to give it a throw. You're going to block it. Fenn, you're up.
All right. Well, I don't know if I can follow what Cloud did, but I'm going to just kind of make a circle motion like I'm throwing a hammer and then just release. And that is a 22 to hit.
Okay, nobody's able to get in front of this thing. That ball just goes charging right in.
And for 2 points of damage.
Okay, this tower is now precariously leaning. If somebody breathes on this thing wrong, it is going to come crashing to the ground. And they can see this, and they are feeling angry, defeated. They know they've only landed one blow on your tower. They know there's money on the line. They look at you, Cloud.
Take it down.
I'm assuming that the attack. I have something. I'm
Okay.
assuming that the attack is an action, correct? So
Yes.
all right. Cloud is going to be like, turn to the crowd and just be like, "Who's the best? We are!" And they're just gonna cast Thaumaturgy and make it sound like random people in the crowd are saying, "Ahzyris, Ahzyris, Ahzyris, Ahzyris," and I'm gonna pass
just
my
like-
turn.
How do they know my name?
Okay.
Or slow roll it to the enemy team so they can get their throw.
All right. So they're gonna make their attack, which misses, because of course it does. Because why wouldn't it? Why would I be able to hit anything tonight? So, Cloud, having passed their turn to Ahzyris, you're up.
Ahzyris is very confused.
Ahzyris. Ahzyris.
Extremely confused now.
Sweep the leg, Ahzyris.
5.
Okay, so
Oh, not
Ahzyris,
that
you
leg.
actually hear your name being called just a little bit too loudly, and you kind of spike the ball into the ground. They
Oh,
go
man, I'm
ahead
sorry.
and give an attack roll from the other side. Your companion on the other side is just as bad at this as you are, and apparently the rest of their team, and they don't land an attack. Rhys, go ahead.
Rhys is going to lean forward, grab the ball, and scoop it in an underhand throw for a 19 to hit.
And that ball just tears into the tower. You just see it tumble to the ground and crash. The crowd goes wild. They're cheering. They love this.
I recast Thaumaturgy and go, "Rhys, Rhys."
Well,
Like,
right,
Rhys scratching
we
at the
have to
girls,
make
right?
you a team captain shirt there, bud.
So the sergeant from the other team walks over and pulls the gold out of their pocket and counts out 20 gold, and they press it into your paw, Cloud. Good job.
Oh, I did not realize that we'd actually bet. I thought that Ahzyris was like,
Cloud's now fully sober.
That's the problem when you do too much charity, Cloud. You don't realize you're just
Well-
giving money to people all the time.
Maple, are you sure that you still want Cloud to handle your money? I'm a little nervous about that right now. Maybe not when they're drinking.
So
I'll pass it to Fenn.
You
I'll just give it
all
to him.
have one at Siege Ball, apparently decisively, and I didn't get to have any fun, but that's fine as long as you had a good time.
All right. Well, hey, every single one of us hit it. That's a good job. That's good teamwork.
So, having scored an amazing victory at Siege Ball, really showing up some of the soldiers of the Commonwealth, that's where we're going to end for tonight. So,
Ah. I go for my 5th beer.
The entire group lunges to stop you.
Cloud continues drinking for the next week while we are waiting for our next episode. So thank you all for
That's too
joining
much.
us this evening. Cloud could go on a week-long bender. I believe in them. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for those of you who followed and subscribed this evening. We really appreciate it. We will be back on Monday with Keeps and Conversations with our very own Mirage, and next Wednesday for episode 12 of our Adventures in Umbranthal campaign. So we will see you all soon. Cheers. Love you very much.